These guys have responded, and they've played great.
The Astros lead the Central Division at 31-23. The Braves, meanwhile, are on top of the East with the best record in baseball at 34-18. Atlanta has built that impressive record, beating up on their NL West teams in particular. And yesterday, the Braves won for the 17th time in 18 meetings against Western opposition this season. Well, yesterday in the ball game at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium, John Smoltz looking for his first win since April 17th in the battle of division leaders. He gets Kevin Gross and then Eric Karros. Smoltz struck out 9 in 8 innings. Then a little help from the crime dog. Fred McGriff takes Gross deep for a 3-run home run in the 5th. His 15th homer of the year. Smoltz and the Braves win 4-2. 5th straight win for the Braves. Greg McMichael picks up his 13th save. For Smoltz, now 3rd win. He had lost 5 straight decisions. To Wrigley Field, the Expos beat up on the Cubs. Montreal continues to pursue the Braves in the NL East. In the first, Larry Walker connects off Cubs starter Willie Banks for a 2-run homer. His 8th of the year. Expos lead 3-0. Things didn't get any better for the Cubs. Ryan Sandberg collides with Sammy Sosa. Suffers a bruised knee. He may miss today's ball game. Expos beat Chicago 6-1. Pedro Martinez now 4-3. 3 Expos home runs part of the win. Other scores in the National League from Saturday. The Reds, let's see, over the Mets 8-5. In that one, former Phil Roger Mason takes the loss. Jeff Conine, a single in the 10th, wins it for Florida. It was St. Louis over San Francisco 2-1, and the Rockies' winning streak ends at 4. Pittsburgh beat them by a final count of 4-3. A little later on, we'll take a look at the American League, but first, we'll analyze the first-round draft picks by the Phillies under the Lee Thomas regime. We'll do that after this.
Well, sir, if you don't like this week's sale, try us again next week.
The biggest savings are yours right now at Today's Man. The suits of summer in tropical wool and silk blends, just $129. Traditional styles and classic lightweight wools, just $159. The fashion-forward flair of Europe in pure tropical wools, just $179. Save today at Today's Man. Why wait for a department store sale?
Then again, you might do better the week after next.
Today's Man. Somebody finally got it right.
Yeah, this isn't quite right. Patrick, come here and help me out for a minute. Resorts has personality.
Personality.
Smile.
With personality.
Stars.
With personality.
Show.
With personality.
Food.
With personality. Merck wants you to come and see.
Oh, come on, Pat. I get to do the solos.
Our personality.
Amy, you gotta work for what you get. You can't get something for nothing. And nothing in life is free.
Nothing, Dad.
Here's something, Dad. When you order Friendly's new Super Melt Supreme with smoked turkey, ham, and melted cheese, or any one of our Super Melts, you get a free apple cobbler sundae.
How's your free Sunday, Dad?
Seek and ye shall find. Huh?
It's time to get Friendly's.
This week, baseball held their annual amateur draft. Phillies Vice President and General Manager Lee Thomas has been responsible for 6 first-round picks since 1988 when he joined the organization from St. Louis. Here's a rundown of Thomas's first-round selections.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very happy to welcome to Philadelphia the Philadelphia Phillies' new Vice President and Director of Player Personnel, Mr. Lee Thomas.
These are the first-round selections during the Thomas era. Often criticized for selecting suspects, there seems to be a relatively talented group here. Only Jeff Jackson could be considered a bust, but he's still only 22 years old.
I think you got to look at his age. He's got all the tools in the world. I think he's going to have to, work himself into that major league situation. Everybody has spent a lot of time with him, the hitting people, the outfield people, different managers, different people doing extra stuff with him. And, it's what he puts forth into getting to the major leagues is how well he's going to do. We were hoping for a great year for him where, he could be that #1 draft pick, which people have over the years have looked at and said, well, was it a wasted draft pick? With the tools he has and his age, we still don't think it's a wasted draft pick, but he's going to have to come back and put some numbers on the board.
Mike Lieberthal was a slick-fielding high school catcher out of California. His problem was weight. At just 6 foot, 160 pounds, he was considered too small to catch. He is currently 185, and although he'll probably never hit for power, he will hit for average.
I think Mike is defensively is got a lot of potential. He's a good receiver and good thrower right now. His big drawback right now is learning how to handle the veteran pitchers and working with Jim Wright and calling the games and so forth. And that's an experience thing. He's definitely got the makeup inside to be a good big league player.
Tyler Green is the mystery selection. His awesome knuckle curve froze hitters from Wichita State to AAA. In 3 brief appearances last year with the Phillies, he struggled with his mechanics. After being selected 10th overall in the '91 draft, he figured his ascent to the majors would be a little easier.
When I first came in and I was really dominating like that, I figured that I was going to move up pretty quickly. Over the last couple of years, I have learned a lot. Even though if I sit back and think about, well, what actually have I learned to do pitching? Well, not really that much, but not something that I can write down on a paper and say, I'll learn this and this and this, and they taught me this and this and this. But it's more learning different situations, learning how to pitch batters, learning how to keep my concentration.
As a member of the 1992 Olympic team, Chad McConnell came to the Phillies with a sparkling reputation. He was an outfielder who could hit for power and average. In his first year of professional baseball, he hit just .240 while struggling through a painful shoulder injury. Off-season surgery corrected that problem, and McConnell took off.
I was excited to come back this year with a healthy shoulder and prove to the Phillies that I can hit. You know, last year I didn't have that good of a season, so I wanted to come out this year and prove to them that, you know, I was healthy and that I could put up some numbers, and hopefully, you know, in AA I'll continue doing that.
Wayne Goins became the first selection of new scouting director Mike Arbuckle, an overpowering stopper from Old Dominion with unlimited potential.
I didn't want any extra treatment. I didn't want I didn't want any extra help or nothing. I want to be treated just like the other guys. I want to kind of everybody else just to forget about Wayne Goins. I want them to kind of just say, forget this guy's a first rounder. You know, put me in the closer role or do what you have to. Just forget I even exist. Just forget about the draft. Just let me play.
This past Thursday brought another pitcher to the Phillies, Mississippi State right-hander Carlton Lower.
We had him in our first column, which means he was one of the higher-rated pitchers. I would not want to say he's our first or our 10th or our whatever, but he was in a category that made him a very desirable commodity to us.
All right, that's Mike Arbuckle, Director of Scouting for the Phillies. We heard from him last week prior to the draft. Well, let's bring in Daily News Phillies beat writer Paul Hagen now from the Astrodome. Paul, you know, a lot of people have been very critical of the Phillies minor league system, and when Lee Thomas came aboard, there was a lot of expectations that this guy would revitalize the farm system. In your opinion, has he done that?
Well, I don't think there's any question, and I think Lee would tell you this, that the farm system hasn't come along as quickly as he would have liked to have. You know, they are on their second scouting director since Lee got here. I think Mike Arbuckle, it's a little too early to evaluate what he's done because this has only been his second draft. But I don't think there's any question that the farm system isn't nearly as strong right now as the Phillies would have hoped.
You know, they've gone after a lot of pitchers over the years, and Carlton Lower, just another one the other day from Mississippi State. I know you've done some research on Lower. What do you know about him?
All I really know about him is that if the draft had taken place 4 or 5 months ago, he might have been one of the top 2 or 3 players taken overall in the country. He had a bad year at Mississippi State. I know Mike Arbuckle thinks that maybe he was a little too conscious of all the scouts watching him, but the Phillies have obviously taken a little bit of a risk, but they're drafting a lot of potential. I know they think that they saw all 3 pitches that he can throw at one point or another, and really it's just going to be a matter of him putting everything together.
I think the minor league system right now is showing its vulnerability, Paul, because of the injuries that the Phillies have on the major league level. The way you look at it, you know, are there guys down there in the minor leagues that you could envision maybe helping this ball club this year, or have we seen basically everything that possibly could help this ball club this year?
Yeah, I think we've probably seen pretty much the best of it. You know, I'm not saying that Tyler Green couldn't come up before the year is over. Maybe Jeff Juden could come back, something like that. But I think really most people accept the idea that most of the better prospects that the Phillies have right now are in the lower levels, probably mostly in Class A.
Paul, the Phillies now at 26-29, made a trade the other day with Wes Chamberlain going to Boston, Paul Quantrill and Billy Hatcher coming here to Philadelphia. What's your opinion on that deal?
Well, I think there are 3 reasons why that trade was made. One is that they definitely needed pitching. I mean, you just look at all the pitchers that have been hurt, and they really got good reports on Quantrill, so that's one reason. I think another reason is that Wes Chamberlain was pretty openly unhappy with the amount of playing time he was getting, so you eliminate a potential problem there. And I think the third reason is that a lot of consideration is being given to maybe looking at Dave Hollins in right field somewhere down the road, and this sort of clears the way for that experiment to happen.
Right now, the way the Phillies are playing, I mean, they're playing good baseball, yet it doesn't seem like they're moving much up in the division. Of course, Houston's given them trouble all season long, but how do you see, you know, from now to the All-Star break and then beyond with this ball club?
Well, I don't think there's a whole lot of margin for error now. I think the Phillies used up all that margin for error early in the season, and even, you know, even coming into Houston, they were in third place by a percentage point, and things looked like they might be coming together a little bit, but these last two losses have really hurt because teams ahead of them basically have won the last 2 days while the Phillies have lost 2. So it's really been a pretty big step backwards in the last 2 days.
Yeah, Montreal and Atlanta, Paul, just aren't losing.
No, that's always a problem when you're trying to catch up.
All right, Paul Hagen of the Daily News, thank you very much for joining us from the Astrodome.
My pleasure.
All right, Paul Hagen joining us there from Houston. Well, we'll have the play-by-play in just a few minutes. We'll take a look at the American League when we return on the pregame show.
Al has an out-of-body experience.
Where's my cloud, my heart, my virgin?
Sorry, Al. You're not dead yet.
Oh. But the family's not buying it.
Please don't tell anybody else about this, because nobody is dumb enough to believe you actually...
What did God look like, Dad?
I don't know. I couldn't take my eyes off his shoes.
On the next Married with Children.
Tomorrow at 6:30 on PHL 17.
What a personality!
Oh, you could say that again.
What a personality!
And not bad to look at either. You know, I've seen pictures in TV, but nothing compares to the real thing.
The food and the show.
The entertainment.
Oh, the excitement.
This is the best night of my life.
Better than my wedding night.
Oh, mine, too.
Someone deserves a lot of credit.
I wonder what it is that makes resorts so special.
Oh, who cares?
Amy, you gotta work for what you get. You can't get something for nothing. And nothing in life is free.
Nothing, Dad.
Here's something, Dad. When you order Friendly's new Super Melt Supreme with smoked turkey, ham, and melted cheese, or any one of our Super Melts, you get a free apple cobbler sundae.
How's your free Sunday, Dad?
Seek and ye shall find. Huh?
It's time to get Friendly's.
Pre-game show is brought to you in part by Nationwide Insurance Enterprise. Nationwide is on your side. Your Nationwide agent in Springfield is Gene Giello. That's a live look at the Astrodome. We'll have play-by-play for you between the Phillies and the Astros in just a few minutes. The Yankees have simmered off a little bit in the past week. New York has lost now 5 of their last 6 ball games. Terry Mulholland went the distance in the losing effort yesterday for New York at Yankee Stadium. And again, trying to avoid a 3rd straight loss. Mulholland on the mound, and Terry Shumpert takes him deep twice. That one a 3-run shot. Royals lead 4-3. Royals defense does the rest. Gary Gaetti robs Danny Tartabull of an extra base hit, and then Brian McRae leads to take away a Luis Polonia base hit up the gap in right to left, and the final was 4-3. Yankees lose it to the Royals, and Mulholland now has lost 5 on the year. Mark Ubiza picks up the win. He's now at 4-4. To Camden Yards, the Orioles and the White Sox. Saturday's Jamie Moyer and Jack McDowell were locked in a pitcher's duel. McDowell gets Brady Anderson looking, and then Moyer fans Ron Karkovice. Now, with Chicago leading 2-1 in the 8th, or after 8, in the 9th inning, Norberto Martin connects on his first Major League home run, a grand slam job off Oriole reliever Jim Poole. Love the reaction. White Sox win at 7-1. Jack McDowell only the 3rd win for him, aided by 10 Sox hits. Wild game at Tiger Stadium in Detroit, where the Twins used the Tiger pitching staff for batting practice. Pedro Munoz singles, makes it 7-0 in the 2nd. Munoz wasn't done. Top of the 3rd, his 3rd home run to the upper deck makes it 12-0 Minnesota. Top of the 7th, there is Mr. Munoz again. Solo shot to left. That makes the lead now 17-2. 2 home runs, career high 7 RBIs for Pedro Munoz, and a long day for Sparky Anderson as the Twins rout the Tigers 21-7. 34 hits, 6 of them home runs between the two teams. 5 Twins errors were not a factor. 21-7 was the final. Texas ran up the score on Boston 10-4. Wes Chamberlain, by the way, went 1 for 4. Jose Canseco, though, the hitting star, 4 hits, including a 2-run homer for the Rangers. Eddie Murray, his 450th career home run, Cleveland over Oakland. It was Milwaukee 7, California 6 in 11. And Randy Johnson, scoreless inning streak now to 27. He had 15 Ks. Seattle beat Toronto by a final of 2-0. The Phillies were involved in the top trade of the week, as we mentioned a little earlier, with the Boston Red Sox. Gone is 28-year-old Wes Chamberlain, and in from Beantown is pitcher Paul Quantrill and veteran Billy Hatcher.
One didn't know what division the Phillies were in. The other joins his 5th National League team at the age of 33. Paul Quantrill and Billy Hatcher both filled different needs for Jim Fregosi. Quantrill, a young, promising right-hander at 25, brings much-needed depth to the Phillies bullpen.
Over the last few years, I've started in the big leagues and done some relief work. And I guess the most important thing to me is that I settle in, and you know, whether it be in the bullpen or as a starter, either way, I'll do whatever, you know, is going to help the team. It's just that I would like to get established as one or the other and show that, you know, I'm a big league, I'm stable in the big leagues, so I can do a pretty good job for it.
Hatcher is expected to platoon with Jim Eisenreich in right. In 1990, Hatcher helped Cincinnati win the World Championship with a record .750 batting average in the World Series. Hatcher's presence helps the Phillies bench immediately.
A lot of people don't like to get traded. You know, you get comfortable in certain situations, but I just feel I like to play the game of baseball. And, you know, you look at the Phillies, you saw them last year, and you see the type of guys they have on their team. You always say you wish you had an opportunity to be a part of something like that. They have a great team, and they have a lot of guys that like to play, so I'm happy to be in the Phillies organization now.
Fly ball right field. Billy Hatcher backtracks, makes the grab.
Both guys are said to be good for the clubhouse. Quantrill earlier this year got involved in a bench-clearing brawl with Seattle's Eric Anthony. The Canadian native takes a little of his hockey background to the ball field.
I've played hockey my whole life, and a little bit of scrapping here and there. I think it's good. And from what I understand about this team, we'll probably do a little scrapping. If I don't pitch inside, then I probably wouldn't be around very long. It's a real important part of my game, and I think it really should be for most guys.
Well, they got some guys over here, they love to have a lot of fun, you know, but when the game starts, they play baseball like it's supposed to be played. They play it hard for 9, 10 innings, whatever it takes to get a win, and you always want to be associated with those type of guys.
Live up near Toronto in the off-season, and I went to a few of the games in the World Series, and you see these guys, they seem real loose, look like they have a lot of fun, and you hear all the rumors, and you hear Johnny Kruk on TV, and it just seems like they have a lot of fun, and they're pretty loose, and I'm looking forward to that.
2 tough outings for Paul Quantrill in Houston this weekend. We'll see if he gets another go at it again today in middle relief. And Billy Hatcher still looking for his first hit as a Philadelphia Philly. Well, time to take a look back at the week's other top highlights and lowlights in a segment we call 3 Up, 3 Down.
This week began on a memorial note, especially for the cousins Mitchell, Kevin of the Reds, and Keith of the Twins, who both had 2-homer games on Monday and were a combined 6 for 8 with 8 RBIs on the day. Guys, we salute you. A salute also to the boys from San Diego. No, not them. Them. The Padres, who've been playing some good ball and taking a lot of trips across the plate lately. 13 in Tuesday's second inning versus the Pirates. There was no power shortage Friday night in Detroit as the Twins and Tigers teamed for 7 home runs. The biggest blow came on Cecil Fielder's game-winning blast in the 13th. The Poor Sport of the Week award goes to the Dodgers' Jose Offerman, who showed how much he likes being asked to bunt with the pitcher on deck. Yo, Tom, get the hint? And you know there's just no hiding what great pals Bobby Bonilla and Ryan Thompson are. What's wrong, Bobby Bo? Didn't want your autograph? And our final downer of the week was the possible season-ending release of the Houston Astros' Mitch Williams on Tuesday. We bid you farewell for now, Mitch, and good luck.
3 Up, 3 Down is brought to you by Mazda. It just feels right.
Now, this isn't quite right. Patrick, come here and help me out for a minute. Resorts has
personality.
Merv's personality.
Smile
with personality.
Stars
with personality.
Show
with personality. Food with personality. Merv wants you to come and see.
Come on, Pat. I get to do the solos.
Our personality.
Only TWA takes you to some of Europe's most exciting cities for some of the lowest prices around. With so many daily nonstop flights, it's never been easier or more convenient to get to the heart of Europe, which is good news, considering how much Europe there is to see. In fact, with so many flights to so many destinations, you might say that TWA's put Europe at your feet.
TWA, most comfortable way to fly.
Retirement? I'm too young to be worried about retiring.
I'm set. I've been socking away a little of my paycheck every month.
The same company for almost 20 years. They'll take care of me.
You bet I got my nest egg covered.
In these uncertain financial times, turn to Nationwide Financial Services for a wide range of investment alternatives, most of which are tax advantaged. Because someday soon, the quality of your life may depend on the quality of your investments.
Welcome back to the pregame show. I'm Neil Hartman. We've been focusing in on the Phillies drafts of the past during the show today. 1991's draft was a big one locally as the Phillies made a LaSalle High and Villanova grad Gene Shaw their fourth pick. Shaw has progressed a level in each of his previous 3 minor league seasons, and his next promotion will make him a major leaguer. But is he counting the days?
Not really. I mean, last year I didn't really think about AAA much when I was in AA, and then all of a sudden, in one day, it can change very quickly, and next thing I know, I'm standing here in a AAA stadium. I'm just kind of looking around. I was like, wow, things happen fast in this game. So, I mean, you know, if it happens, it happens. If not, you know, just go out and play every day.
Shaw's biggest adjustment from college ball has been making the transition from the aluminum bat he used while leading the nation to an incredible .484 average in '91 to the wooden bat used in the pros.
First year was a little tough. I had to deal with a lot of strikeouts, a lot of broken bats, and after about a year or so, you start to get used to it, and now you don't really think about it. It's almost an everyday thing.
Life in the minor leagues is a daily learning experience, and the Willow Grove native knows there are some aspects of his game he needs to work on if he's to make the next step.
I think defense would probably be the first thing, and then a little two-strike hitting, putting the ball in play more with 2 strikes, and still concentrating on driving the ball and not trying to hit the ball 20 hopper up the middle. When you get ahead in the count, look to drive something. That's what I see with the more experienced players. When they get 2-0 and 3-1 here, and actually in big league camp, they hit balls hard. They hit it on a line, they hit it towards gaps, and they hit them out of the park.
Shaw put up the power numbers last year at AA Reading, where he went long 15 times before being sent north to the Red Barons for the season's final month. A productive promotion in many ways.
When I look back on it, I wouldn't trade that last month for anything because I had a chance to experience it, and I had a chance to carry what I needed to work on into the Arizona League, the Winter League. And I think I you know, use that as a good chance to come in here this year and try to get off to a good start.
Gene's average peaked at .340 to start the '94 campaign, and his current .307 mark is among the league leaders. Yet he still ignores the possibilities tomorrow may bring.
If you're worrying about going above, you know, there's probably guys behind you that are looking to take your spot. So at the same time, there's people behind you looking to jump into your spot. So you just have to go out and, you know, just relax and have a good time and just let things, you know, fall where they fall. When your chance comes up, you just got to make the most of it.
Happy birthday to Gene Shaw. He turned 24 today. In our news and notes segment, let's start off first of all in the American League. Julio Franco of the White Sox, 56 RBIs on only 59 hits. Pretty darn good. Carlos Baerga of Cleveland has only 2 walks in 212 at-bats this season. And Paul O'Neill of the Yankees, 4 of his last 22 at-bats, but he is still batting .429 and on a torrid pace with New York. In the National League, the Pirates have committed errors in 10 straight games. The Braves are 17-1 versus National League West, as we mentioned earlier in the program, and the Chicago Cubs have lost 5 straight at Wrigley. They are now 9-19 at home. One other note to pass along, Dwight Gooden of the New York Mets, he is going to be back in a New York Mets uniform today. He had been rehabbing and a successful rehab, so he has cartilage damage in his toe in his right foot that apparently is now healed, and he'll be back in the Mets roster today and probably pitching in the next few days. Well, that'll do it for the pregame show. I'm Neil Hartman. It's Mike Williams against Darryl Kyle. Next from the Astrodome, I'll see you during the game with updates. For now, enjoy the game on PHL 17.
The pregame show is brought to you by Merv Griffin's Resorts Casino Hotel. We've got personality. And by Pizza Hut. Get a large cheese Neapolitan pizza delivered every day for just $7.99. Now stay tuned for Phillies baseball.
I can't believe there's so much to do. I can't believe the fun goes on the whole year through. The time of your life is just a phone call away. 1-800-VISIT-PA. America. America starts here in Pennsylvania. Good times any time of year. America. America starts here.
Amy, you gotta work for what you get. You can't get something for nothing. And nothing in life is free.
Nothing, Dad.
Here's something, Dad. When you order Friendly's new Super Melt Supreme with smoked turkey, ham, and melted cheese, or any one of our Super Melts, you get a free apple cobbler sundae.
How's your free Sunday, Dad?
Seek and ye shall find. Huh?
It's time to get Friendly's.
Well, sir, if you don't like this week's sale, try us again next week.
The biggest savings are yours right now at Today's Man. The suits of summer in tropical wool and silk blends, just $129. Traditional styles in classic lightweight wools, just $159. The fashion-forward flair of Europe in pure tropical wools, just $179. Save today at Today's Man. Why wait for a department store sale?
Then again, you might do better the week after next.
Today's Man. Somebody finally got it right.
Our regular programming will not be seen this afternoon so that we can bring you the Philadelphia Phillies versus the Houston Astros.
Hi, everybody from the Astrodome in Houston. Welcome to Phillies baseball, the final game of the series, the Phils and the Houston Astros. Mike Williams goes for the Phillies. Darryl Kyle for Houston. Harry Callis along with Rich Ashburn and Andy Musser. And Andy, kind of a new-look lineup for Jim Fregosi and Milt Thompson in the 3-hole.
Something new, it's true, Harry, but he's been hitting the ball with authority. And, of course, there's one stat we've been talking about where he's leading the National League with runners in scoring position. He's hitting .462, so why not go ahead and try it?
Be interesting to see how Milt fares in that 3-hole. Whitey, the Houston Astros are in first place in the Central Division. The more we see this club, the more I'm impressed, especially with their defense.
It's been the difference in these two ball games. In 4 runs in the first game, Houston scored. Phillies gave him 2 of them. I think they gave him 3 of them last night. The official score didn't think so, but they did give him 2 and a possible 3. So that's really been the difference in these two ball games. It's a well-balanced club, no stars, but from the top to the bottom of the lineup, they're very solid.
They really are. Darryl Kyle can be wild, so the Phillies will have to be selective as far as swinging at pitches. He leads the league in walks. It'll be Kyle going against Mike Williams, back with the starting lineups after these messages.
Phillies baseball is being brought to you by Bud Light. If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. Mellon PSFS, the official bank of the Phillies. The Yellow Pages 9 out of 10 people use. The genuine Val Atlantic Yellow Pages. By Chevrolet, the cars and trucks 36 million people depend on every day. Genuine Chevrolet. And by Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield. For 56 years, the health insurance company you can lean on.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's wrestle!
Hi, Rick. Hey, Brian. How the wife and kids? How's your mom? She says hi. Good.
And the winner of tonight's match receives Ice Cold Bud Light. Bud Light!
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Spend some time on the road. I need a truck that'll take me where I wanna go. I need a Dodge, Dodge. Big Magnum engines, don't take them for granted. Overall, the most powerful line of trucks on the planet, that's Dodge. From America's truck stop, Dodge.
From 4x4s to club cabs, from Magnum V8s to the mighty Cummins Turbo Diesel, they're all at America's Truck Stop, your Dodge dealer.
Back at the Astrodome in Houston, final game of this series, the Phils and the Houston Astros. Houston in first place in the Central Division by a game over Cincinnati and by 2 over St. Louis, and the Phils trying to crawl out of the cellar here in National League East. Phils will be facing Darryl Kyle as the lineup cards are being exchanged at home plate. Terry Collins, Houston's first-year manager, and Jim Fregosi bringing out the Phillies lineup. Phils will be back home tomorrow night against the Chicago Cubs. The Cubs and Cardinals move in for the next homestand, 3 with the Cubs and 4 with St. Louis. Jim Fregosi would like to see the Phillies salvage one here.
Yeah, they're 3-3 on this road trip. A win would make it a decent road trip. But
Jim Fregosi's starting lineup this afternoon has Lenny Dykstra, center fielder, leading off. Mariano Duncan at second base, bats second. Milt Thompson in left field will hit third today. Darren Dalton catching, batting fourth. Ricky Jordan will be at first base. He'll bat fifth. Tony Longmire in right field hitting sixth. Kim Baptiste, the third baseman, hits seventh. Kevin Stocker, shortstop, batting eighth, and batting ninth and pitching Mike Williams. That lineup facing Darryl Kyle.
yeah, Kyle has a lot of strikeouts, 8 per 9 innings, but he has a lot of walks, a little over 6 per 9 innings.
Defensively behind Kyle, Ken Cavanetti at third base, Andujar Cedeno at shortstop, Craig Biggio at second, Sid Bream at first today, Jeff Bagwell being given a rest, Scott Service behind the plate, Luis Gonzalez in left field, Steve Finley in center, and Kevin Bass in right. Jeff Kellogg calls the balls and strikes today. Bruce Fremming at first base, Jerry Crawford at second, and Mike Winters will umpire at third. Lenny Dykstra leads it off for the Phils. Dude hitting a .308, leads the league in runs scored with 52, leads the league in walks with 43, and is second in the league in extra base hits, second in the league in doubles. 1 ball and no strikes. Kyle leads the league in issuing walks, 46 of them. He's won 3, lost 2. His ERA is 4.61. 2-0. Kyle's coming off a good year. He won 15 last year for Houston, losing 8 with a 3.51 ERA. Pitched a no-hitter against the New York Mets in September here at the Astrodome. Got the fastball over. It's 2-1. Kyle's 25 years old from Garden Grove, California. Had a high draft pick. He was a 30th round draft pick in the June '87 draft. Wide with it, 3-1. Lenny will make him throw strikes. 3 balls and a strike to Lenny Dykstra. Dykstra aboard with a walk, his 44th. He leads the league in that department. The batter will be Mariano Duncan.
Second baseman, number 7,
Duncan batting at 282.
Both teams have scored in the first inning of this series so far.
One ball and no strikes to Mariano Duncan. 80th birthday wishes today to Catherine Miller in Kingston, Pennsylvania. And our best wishes for a speedy recovery to John Miller, just out of the hospital. Catherine and John's sons, Joe and Bob, are musicians here at the Astrodome on the Astros Brass Dixieland Band. Had a chance to talk to them. Catherine and John, great Phillies and Red Baron fans. In the gap in left center field, Dykstra will head for third, and the Phillies have runners at first and third. Nobody out here in the first inning. So Milt Thompson will get his opportunity here out of the 3-hole.
And had a day off yesterday, and coming back rested, lined that ball over the shortstop. Charles Myers is 75 today. Nice note from his daughter Marge Lyons, who works the first aid room with Rita Lyons in Philadelphia.
1 ball and no strikes to Milt Thompson. Milt hitting .462 with runners in scoring position. That is best among all National League hitters. And he has Dykstra at third base here. On the inside corner, it's 1-1.
Ed Wallington in Yaden is 90 today. Nice going, Ed.
Through the middle, a base hit to center field. Dykstra scores. Holding at second is Duncan. Phillies lead it 1-0 on the RBI single by Milt Thompson. Dykstra crosses the plate for the 53rd time. And it will bring on Darren Dalton. So Kyle off to a shaky start here.
Well, they're worried about him throwing strikes. He's thrown 2 strikes, and they've picked up base hits on those. And of course, he walked Dykstra. Chance here to do some damage now with Dalton.
Dutch lifetime 3 for 7 against Kyle. 2 of them home runs. Fastball at the knees for a strike. 0-1 to Darren Dalton. Dutch is 10th in the league and runs batted in with 38. Tips a foul. Will come back and out of play. Kyle ahead of him 0-2. This is when Kyle can really be tough. He has a lot of strikeouts, and when he gets ahead of a hitter, he can use that nasty curveball of his. He also has a good slider. And when he's pitching behind, he has to resort to throwing his fastball.
He has a split finger pitch, but he say he's not throwing it much this year.
This with a backdoor breaking ball, 1-2.
Trying to drop that ball on the outside corner, but a little wide with it.
Missed again with a curveball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 81st birthday wishes today to Ralph Watts in Lime Ridge, Pennsylvania. High with it. So after getting ahead of Dalton 0-2, the count has gone full.
Send our best wishes along to Jerry Milner in Drescher, PA. From Drescher, PA. He's in Moss Rehab Hospital. And Mel Stottlemyre, the pitching coach here.
Hard ground base hit right field. Here comes Mariano Duncan. Bass's throw is cut off, and now they have Thompson in a rundown between second and third and tag him out.
That's a bad play by Milt, because you give them an out, which they haven't been able to get themselves. Didn't have any shot at Duncan at all at home plate, so the ball's cut off by Bream.
First baseman, number 17, Ricky Jordan.
Milt almost got back there.
Dalton knocks in his 39th run. Phillies lead 2-0. Dalton at first with 1 out now for Ricky Jordan. Ricky hitting at .291. On the inside corner, Jordan not happy with the call. 1 strike to Ricky Jordan.
Carol and Tony Lomick in Camden. Married 57 years today.
Fouls it out of play. No balls and 2 strikes to Ricky Jordan. Curveball struck him out.
Got him with a hanging curve. Hanging curve or hanging slider. Right up there to hit.
Right fielder, number 16, Tony Longmire.
Brings up Tony Longmire. Longmire hitting at 171. Takes the fastball right there. One ball and 1 strike to Longmire. Fastball at the knees, 1-2. Chops the ball off the glove of Kyle. Biggio recovers to throw him out. Good play by Biggio, and that'll retire the side. Phil's got 2 in the first, 3 hits, no errors, and 1 left after 1/2. Phillies 2, Houston coming to bat.
What would you do with a Motorola pager?
Never miss a meeting.
What would you do?
Mom's not home. Pager.
What about you?
All right, you got the pager number, right?
We're
going out.
Cool, this works.
What would you do? You could go anywhere, do anything, and still keep in touch with the people you want to keep in touch with. So what are you waiting for? Get the pager from Motorola, the leader in paging.
Mom, I'm bored.
This is the ride you get with our competitors' gasoline.
How long is this gonna be? Looks like a dweeb. Wiener brain. Wrong brain. Mom!
This is the ride you get with Sunoco and Atlantic gasolines. Fill up with our top 2 grades at participating Sunoco and Atlantic stations, and we'll give you 5 free Collector's Edition baseball cards. Collect the set featuring 24 of some of today's hottest players.
Hey, how about all of mine for all
A
yours?
more enjoyable ride from Sunoco and Atlantic.
It's hard to top this one. A free cap featuring the championship logo. Compliments of Texaco. For men 15 and over when the Phillies play the Cardinals Sunday, June 12th at 8:05. Call 463-1000.
Phillies have given Mike Williams 2 runs here in the first inning with which to work. And Terry Collins' Houston lineup will have Craig Biggio at second base leading off. Steve Finley, center fielder, bats second. Kevin Bass, right fielder, hitting third. Sid Bream at first base, batting fourth. Ken Caminetti, third baseman, hitting fifth. Luis Gonzalez, left fielder, bats sixth. Scott Service, catching, hitting seventh. Andujar Cedeno, the shortstop, bats eighth. And pitching and hitting ninth, Darryl Kyle. That lineup facing Mike Williams.
5.5 strikeouts per 9 innings, 4.5 walks. He has a high ERA of over 5, but he got most of that in his last game in Chicago.
Craig Biggio leads it off, hitting at .315. A little bit high for a ball, 1-0. On the outside corner, it's 1-1 to Biggio. Change up, he beats foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Williams, 25 years old, from Newport, Virginia. Went to Virginia Tech. Lifetime 4-5. Lifetime against Houston 0-1, a .284 career ERA. A little bit wide, 2-2.
Cubs game, he allowed 7 hits in the second inning of the game there. 2 of them home runs. Phillies came back to win that game.
Got him with a breaking ball. Biggio goes down swinging. That's 1 down here in the bottom of the first. Defensively behind Williams this afternoon, Kim Baptiste at third, Kevin Stocker at shortstop. Mariano Duncan at second, Ricky Jordan at first, Aaron Dalton catching, Milt Thompson in left field, Lenny Dykstra in center, and Tony Longmire in right. Here's Steve Finley hitting at .263. One strike to Finley. Two strikes. Good breaking ball. 0-2. Up and in, a ball and 2 strikes. Chops the breaking ball foul. One ball and 2 strikes to Finley with 1 out, no base runners. Phillies lead 2-0. We're in the first inning. Ground ball up the middle, fielded nicely by Stocker, and he throws out Finley. That's 2 down, and that'll bring up Kevin Bass. Bass, the veteran switch hitter, is hitting .344. Batting .417 right-handed, .297 left-handed.
They brought 2 players off the bench today, Bass and Green, who are hitting .344 and .353.
Johnny Padres talking with new pitcher Paul Quantrill. Got the sinker ball over. Good man to listen to, Johnny Pod. Had quite a career. 1 ball and 1 strike. Two and 1 to Kevin Bass. Another good man to listen to. Danny Jackson is off to a great start for the Phils. He'll be pitching on Tuesday night. 2-2.
Williams has made some pretty good pitches here in the first inning. He's on the corners.
Bobby Munoz lost last night's game. He's lost his last 2 starts, but has pitched well in both of them. Foul tip. Dalton hangs onto it, and that will retire the side. No runs, hits, errors, and none left. After 1, 2-0 Phils.
Daily number, play it all the time. Now, I would never forget something that important, and I always know where my ticket is. I keep it in my top pocket, but it's not there.
The Pennsylvania Lottery's daily number. Don't forget.
I leave with my girlfriend's phone number, so I call her when I win, but it's not there either.
Big 4? I play it every day. Do I look like I'd forget something important?
Big 4 from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Don't forget.
I call this my quiet time.
I wonder what the warranty covers. How does Prism's 24-hour roadside assistance work anyway? Can I get anti-lock brakes? Are the dual airbags really standard?
Before you buy a new car, you have a lot of questions. Call 1-800-GET-TO-KNOW and get to know all the answers about the Geo Prism.
How about if I just take this one?
It's got a new cover, it's got a new name, but on the inside, it's exactly the same. It's the real fine, genuine, more choices, gold mine, yellow pages from Bell Atlantic.
Presenting the genuine Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages. Same book, new name. 9 out of 10 use it. The genuine Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages.
Real fine, genuine, more choices, gold mine, yellow pages from Bell Atlantic.
Same book, new name.
After 1 inning of play, it's the Phils 2, Houston 0. Upcoming telecasts of Phillies baseball include the first 2 games of the Cubs series beginning tomorrow night from Veterans Stadium. Both games can be seen right here on PHL 17 beginning at 7:30. Kim Baptiste leads it off. Line drive hit into right center field. Finley cuts it off nicely and will hold Baptiste to a single. Batty now has quietly hit safely in 6 consecutive games. Family and friends here watching him from Prairieville, Louisiana. Brings on Kevin Stocker. Stocker hitting at .243. One strike to Stocker. Fooled him on the pitch, 0-2. Into the outside corner. Stocker is called out on strike. Second strikeout for Kyle. Will bring on Mike Williams, who will probably be up there to bunt.
He made some good pitches on Stocker. That close to being outside, but too close to take.
Williams hitting at 143, lifetime at 207 hitter. And he'll be undoubtedly bunting here. Deadens the ball nicely to Sid Bream. Sacrifice is good by Williams. It goes Bream to Biggio. Moving Baptiste to second base, and we'll bring on Lenny Dykstra. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Phillies and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the Phillies. Dykstra walked and scored a run his first time up. He's always hurt the Astros, a lifetime .356 hitter against Houston. One ball and no strikes. Let's pause for station identification on the Phil's television network.
You're watching Phillies baseball on WPHL TV, Philadelphia.
Baptiste at second with 2 outs. Hits the ball well to the opposite field, but Gonzalez puts it away in front of the warning track. And we'll retire the Phillies here in the second. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. We go to the bottom of the second. It's 2-0 Phillies.
This is the way it was, June 1942, the War in the Pacific.
Now the boss is afraid Yamamoto's going to jump right back at us. Question is where?
Our only hope for victory is one massive strike at Midway.
I'm convinced Yamamoto's target is Midway.
If it's Midway, out bushwhack.
Charlton Heston, Henry Fonda, and Glenn Ford. Part 1 of Midway. Thursday at 8 on PHL 17.
The Braves are coming. Friday, June 24th at 7:35. Saturday, June 25th at 7:05 for Kodak Photo Night. And Sunday, June 26th at 1:35. When kids 14 and under get a free photo pack with pictures of Phillies players, compliments of Mel and PSFS. June is jumping with a pitching powerful Braves. Photo Night and a free photo pack. Get your tickets now. Call 463-1000.
Introducing the new 1995 Lexus Coupe. After all, you only go around once.
What would you do with a Motorola Pager?
Mom's not home! Pager.
With a Motorola Pager, the important people in your life can always reach you.
Cool, this works.
You the affordable, portable Motorola pager.
Next Sunday night, the Phillies have a night game. Don't forget, at 8:05 against St. Louis. All men 15 and over get a free blue baseball cap with the Phillies '93 championship logo on it. Sid Bream gets one between Jordan and Duncan for a base hit. So Bream is a leadoff base runner. Bream playing today. Jeff Bagwell being given a rest, and the batter will be Ken Caminetti. That'll be next Sunday. Caps for all men 15 and over. Compliments of Texaco. Make your plans to be on hand. A night game at 8:05. Order your tickets by calling 463-1000. Or stop by the Center City ticket office at Mellon PSFS, Broad and Chestnut Streets. Ken Caminetti hitting at .306. He's been hot lately. .438 in the last 18 ball games. He ropes it to right field. Longmire will have to play it off the fence. Bream will hold at third base. Caminetti rolls into second with a double. So 2 pitches, and Houston has runners at second and third. Nobody out.
This is the inning that did Williams in Chicago. Second inning with a flurry of base hits, 7 of them.
Here's Luis Gonzalez batting at .260. Beats a foul out of play. 0-1 to Gonzalez. Houston runners second and third, and nobody out. Jammed him, and he fouls it back and out of play. Now balls and 2 strikes. Just missed a little bit high.
It's been a good pitch if he'd have had it down a little bit, because Gonzalez was taking it and the ball had a tail on it and came back over the plate, but it was high.
In the dirt. Good block by Dalton. 2-2. Ball to Mariano Duncan. Bream will score. Gonzalez thrown out. Moving up to third, Caminetti. So it's now a 2-1 ball game. 1 out. It'll bring up Scott Service. Phillies are going to keep the infield back with the tying run at third base and 1 out here in the second.
He doesn't bring his infield in until he's just absolutely forced to. If this were late in the ball game, he might bring it in.
One strike to Service, who's hitting at .176. Two quick strikes to him.
He'd like to get a strikeout here now.
has a chance to make a good pitch.
Chased a bad pitch. Dalton guns down to first. Service goes down swinging. It goes Dalton to Jordan for out number 2. Third strikeout for Williams. The service really went on after a bad breaking ball. And it'll bring out Andujar Cedeno. Cedeno hitting at .256. He swings wildly at a bad breaking ball. No balls and a strike. Low with it, 1-1. Ground ball shortstop Kevin Stocker throws out Cedeno. That will retire the side. Houston gets a run in the inning. They do it with 2 hits, no errors, leaving 1. And at the end of 2, it's 2-1 Phils.
I'm bored. Let's count the palm trees again. Why are you looking at me like that, Iggy? You okay? Cut it out. You're weirding me, man. Stop looking at me like that, would ya? You're creeping me out. Cut that out, man.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Iggy, you're gonna twist my head off. Iggy.
It comes specially equipped with dual airbags, cruise control, air conditioning, 4-speaker AM/FM cassette stereo, and power accessories like luxury sedans costing twice the money. The 1994 Nissan Altima GXE. It not only defines what a luxury car should be, it redefines what a luxury car should cost. Lease the Altima for just $750 down and $229 a month for 36 months.
I've got the world on a string.
Wouldn't you like the world on a string? Switch and get the AT&T Business Advantage, and you can get a whole string of international advantages, like online translating, UPS discounts, fax troubleshooting, and more. Switch to AT&T by July 1st, and we'll tie it all up with a whole month of free calling. For AT&T quality and competitive prices, call 1-800-222-0900. Don't forget, let AT&T work for you.
Mark your calendar for the ever-popular photo night, courtesy of Kodak, when the Phillies battle the Braves, Saturday, June 25th at 7:05. Got the picture? For tickets, call 463-1000.
Our trivia question this afternoon is brought to you by Dodge. For the last 2 seasons, Darren Dalton has driven in over 100 runs. Whitey, can you name the last left-hand hitting Philly before Dalton to drive in 100 or more runs? Left-hand hitter. Mariano Duncan takes a strike. He singled and scored a run his first time up. Give you a hint, it wasn't Ron Stone.
Thank you. He did that in spring training.
That's right.
He loved those palm trees.
Ground ball backhanded by Caminetti nicely. Throws out Duncan. Houston's defense is superb. They are second in the league for fewest errors.
Yeah, Caminetti fielded this backhand, and he could have probably made another step and got his body in front of it, but he makes that play all the time.
Brings out Milt Thompson. He's singled to drive in a run his first time up. One ball and no strikes. Slams the ball, but foul. too hard hit for the ball man out there. They use senior citizens as ball men here at the Astrodome. One ball and 2 strikes to Milt Thompson. Ground ball deep third. Watch Caminetti's arm. He can flat out throw. Made it look easy.
Well, they knew he had to get the ball and get rid of it quickly. It's exactly what he did.
The catcher, number 10, Darren Dalton.
And accurately.
Got him by a couple of steps. 2 down. It brings on Darren Dalton. Dutch knocked in a run with a base hit his first time up. Strike to him. Two strikes to Dalton. With his breaking ball, 1 and 2. Reaches out and lofts a pop-up behind third base. Caminetti out, being called off by Gonzalez, and makes the catch. No runs, hits, errors, and none left. We go to the bottom of the third, 2-1 Phillies.
You can't use a mobile phone to tell your boss you're running late.
You said 2:45, right?
To tell your client you're stuck in traffic.
What, where is he?
Or tell your wife your car's broken down.
Temperature dropping rapidly towards this evening. The showers.
Unless
Hello?
the call goes through. A mobile phone is only as good as the system it's on. Choose Bell Atlantic Mobile.
At Geo, we've thought a lot about safety. That's why Geo Prism comes with standard dual airbags and available anti-lock brakes. In addition, it's equipped with a rugged steel safety cage. You see, we not only want to make accidents easier to avoid, we also want to make them easier to walk away from.
Call 1-800-GET-TO-KNOW and get to know Geo Prism with over 100 standard safety features.
There's a new kind of energy around here. An energy company that's doing everything it can to help protect your air and your rivers. In fact, it's one of the few in the country that already exceeds those tough new clean air standards and won't have to spend a lot of money on new equipment to help preserve your environment. They planned ahead. There's a new energy company around here and a new name. Pico Energy, focusing our energies on you.
Today's Phillies game on PHL 17 is brought to you in part by Bud Light. It won't fill you up and never lets you down, so make it a Bud Light. By the AT&T Business Advantage, let it work for you. And by the Yellow Pages 9 out of 10 people use the genuine Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages. Darryl Kyle, the pitcher, leads it off. Kyle hitting at .095. Lifetime at .083 hitter. He does have one home run. It was hit off Omar Olivares. Our trivia question of the afternoon brought to you by Dodge. For the last 2 seasons, Dutch Dalton has driven in over 100 runs. Who was the last left-hand hitting Philly before Dalton to drive in 100 or more runs?
Have to go back.
Got to go back a ways, yep.
I can only think of one person would be Callison.
John Callison is a good guess.
Incorrect.
Incorrect, however. Tony Longmire can't catch up to that foul ball.
Further back than that?
Well, right in that era. The year was 1966, Whitey.
66.
Kyle goes down swinging. That's 4 strikeouts for Williams. 1 down here in the 3rd. It'll bring on Craig Biggio. Saturday, June 27th, always a big night. Photo night at Veterans Stadium, and the Phillies play the Atlanta Braves. So get your tickets early. Sponsored by Kodak Photo Night. Order your tickets by calling 463-1000 or stop by any one of many local Ticketmaster outlets. That'll be Saturday, June 25th. I was doing Houston games in '66, and I remember this guy hitting a grand slam home run at Connie Mack Stadium off that Carroll Pencil Sembrera to complete a sweep of the Astros at Connie Mack Stadium.
There's only a couple more left-hand hitters on that team. It was Gonzalez or Covington.
1 ball and 1 strike to Craig Biggio.
Neither one of those.
No. Fouled out of play, 1-2. This fella held a high executive position in baseball.
Bill White?
William Dakova White is correct. William Dakova knocked in 103 runs in 1966. That's Biggio for the 2nd time. That's 5 strikeouts for Williams, who's not really known as a strikeout pitcher, but he's punched out 5 already.
Well, Houston batters have helped him quite a bit. You can see that pitch was way low and outside, swinging at a lot of bad curveballs.
Steve Finley grounded out his first time up. Good curveball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Williams is 1 away from his career high in strikeouts. 6 against Florida last year. Hard ground ball, but at Mariano Duncan. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Williams here in the 3rd. No runs, hits, errors, and none left. Andy Musser and Chris Wheeler join you in the 4th after 3 2-1 Phils.
Driver, do you have any Bud Light in your vehicle?
Yes.
Then I am Mr. Gallywikich.
You mean Dr. Galakowicz?
Yes, I am. This is so cool.
First time in a limo? Doctor?
In a limo this small.
If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Even with all the discussion about our nation's health care, Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield continue their 56-year mission more aggressively than ever. Thanks to the Blue Cross Blue Shield Caring Foundation, thousands of needy kids receive free health coverage at no cost to our commercial customers. Our special care program makes basic and preventive benefits available to hard-working adults who can't afford traditional coverage. We cover hundreds of thousands of individuals, senior citizens, and small businesses, giving them the peace of mind that comprehensive insurance can provide, which in most cases would not be available elsewhere. All this, plus plus our attractive, affordable programs like Personal Choice and Keystone. And we're doing the job with one of the lowest administrative expense ratios in the nation. That helps hold down your premiums. Within this ever-changing healthcare environment, Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield stand by their commitment to high-quality, accessible health insurance for everyone. No wonder we're the health plan you can...
Sunday, June 26th, Phillies meet the Braves at 1:35. A great new item for all fans 14 and under, a color photo pack with a team picture and action shots of all the Phillies players. Compliments of Mellon PSFS. Here's the number for your tickets, 463-1000. Phillies lead the game by a 2-1 score as Ricky Jordan starts the fourth inning. Ricky struck out his only time up there today. It'll be Jordan, Longmire, and Batista hit here in the fourth inning. Into right field, a play for Kevin Bass. Jordan is retired, one down. Here's the Phillies are probably kicking themselves for not getting more in the first inning when it looked like they had Kyle on the ropes right at the outset.
Yeah, I think they probably had a base running mistake in that first inning, which might have run them out of a potential big inning. But for the third straight game, they were able to jump on top. The Astros did not take the lead in the first inning, which has happened in the other two games. And Mike Williams is pitching very well today.
Longmire, the batter. Foul. Longmire hit a ball that almost got up through the middle, but it was off the glove of the pitcher Kyle. It deflected towards second, and Biggio was able to make the play on Longmire. One ball, one strike. It was a week ago today that Jim Fregosi had planned to play Longmire in a game at Veterans Stadium. In fact, he had him in the 3-hole that day, and Longmire came in and reported himself to be ill, so he couldn't play. Here's one hit to left field. Gonzalez has to play it on the hop. It's a base hit for Longmire. Hit number 5 for the Phillies.
Gonzalez catches most of those, but that ball was sinking rapidly, and he had to play in front of him. There's Fregosi. So today he decided he wasn't going to hit Longmire third. He'd hit Thompson third and make sure he was okay.
The hitter is Kim Batiste. Kim is 1 for 1, single to center field. Hit the first pitch he saw from Kyle, leading off the second. Breaking ball for a strike. Kimmy given ground, but that pitch bent over the plate from Kyle.
That's what we saw from Kyle a lot last year when he was so successful, was that hard breaking ball. He comes a little bit 3/4, and he has right-handed hitters pulling off all the time.
Astros look for a double play. They've proved in this series that they can turn the double play. Longmire has not attempted a steal this year. Talking about the Phillies maybe running themselves out of an inning in the first, the Astros too have to kick themselves. They had a runner at third base with less than 2 outs, didn't get him in. Caminiti picks it up hurriedly. They get that double play, and it's around the horn. 5-4-3. No runs, a hit, and nobody left. Phillies lead 2-1.
Al has an out-of-body experience.
Where's my cloud, my harp, my virgin?
Sorry, Al. You're not dead yet.
Oh. But the family's not buying it.
Please don't tell anybody else about this, because nobody is dumb enough to believe you actually...
What does God look like, Dad?
I don't know. I couldn't take my eyes off his shoes.
I'm the next Married with Children.
Tomorrow at 6:30 on PHL 17.
Mom, I'm bored.
This is the ride you get with our competitors' gasoline.
How long is this gonna be? It looks like a dweeb. Wiener brain. Wrong brain. Ow. Mom!
This is the ride you get with Sunoco and Atlantic gasolines. Fill up with our top 2 grades at participating Sunoco and Atlantic stations, and we'll give you 5 free Collector's Edition baseball cards. Collect the set featuring 24 of some of today's hottest players.
Hey, how about all of mine for all
A more enjoyable ride from Sunoco and Atlantic.
A new wind is rising, bringing change, bringing the all-new Ford Windstar. a totally new minivan. Winstar is the only minivan that combines standard dual airbags, 5-mile-an-hour bumpers, and 4-wheel anti-lock brakes. Plus, it meets all passenger car safety standards. It's safety that takes the minivan in a whole new direction. The all-new front-wheel drive Ford Windstar. The future of minivans begins today.
Good afternoon. I'm Neil Hartman with a sports break. In the American League, Kansas City has jumped out to a 3-0 lead on New York. They're now in the 6th inning. Julio Franco, 57th RBI of the season. The White Sox lead Baltimore 3-1 in the 5th. Detroit has just taken a 4-3 lead on Minnesota in the 8th, and it's Texas 5, Boston 2 in the 7th. A 4:05 start in Anaheim, 4:35 start in Seattle, and Cleveland, Oakland will be this evening. Phillies lead 2-1. We go to the bottom of the 4th to Andy and Wheels back at the Astrodome.
All right, Neil, and the leadoff hitter for Houston is going to be Kevin Bass. Bass is filling in today for James Mouton, who gets the day off. And Bass struck out his only time up there. As a starter, though, Bass has really come through for the Astros. He's made 11 previous starts, and in those games, he's batted .381. That's not bad to bring a guy off the bench and have him come through like that. And here is an extra base hit down the left field line. Bass on his way to second. Thompson gets it back in, but it's a stand-up double for Bass. Hit number 3 for Houston.
As Andy said, Bass has been doing a good job for the Astros. This is a pitch away from him, a high breaking ball, and he just kind of inside out it a little bit and hit it down the left field line for the double.
The Astros got their run in the 2nd when the first 2 hitters came through, Bream and Caminiti, and here's Bream right here. A single and a run scored today, and he too is a guy who doesn't play very often. Bream is only making his 3rd start today. But obviously by his numbers he has helped, and here's a ball slugged to deep right center. Hits on the warning track. Bass had a hold up, but they're going to wave him anyway. He will score. It's a double for Bream and a tie game. Back-to-back doubles produce the tying run.
Sid Bream's really a good extra man for the Astros to have. They're trying to win a division championship, and he can do some things for him. A high fastball, and Dykstra can't get to it. Neither can Longmire, and you see it take that big hop. I think Bass thought either one of them had a chance to catch it because it stayed in the air for so long. But, you know, I mean, a good base runner can score no matter what, so he made sure he didn't get doubled.
Caminiti swings through a pitch. Caminiti has a double in his only at-bat today. So the Astros have a lead run at second base, and there are no outs here in the inning. It's the 2nd time in the game that the Astros have had 2 hits consecutively to start an inning. One ball, 1 strike. How about some of the plays Caminiti has made today? I mean, we know he's an outstanding third baseman, but we've seen it again today.
One of the best in the league. No doubt about it. He can make all the plays, and he has a very good arm.
We've always taken a little special interest in Caminiti because he broke in against the Phillies, and he broke in with a real flair. He had a great weekend here at the Dome, the first time he ever played Major League Baseball. Fly ball down the left field line, short, and Thompson coming hard as he can. Can't quite get there. Milt was really humping, but then he realized that that fence was coming up.
Yeah, well, you have a double problem out there of those mounds in the fence, and he just pulled up a little bit short and couldn't get to it. Caminiti, as you look at Bream there, broke in after the All-Star break that year that you're talking about, Andy, and he was named National League Player of the Week for just 4 games.
It was 1991. It was August 28th and 29th when he went 6 for 9 in that first series against the Phillies. Two and 2. Caminiti's now 31 years of age. They turned the noise meter on. Fans always respond to that here at the Dome. Caminetti puts it in play. He might have been better not swinging at that. They say it's a fair ball, so the Phillies take the out with Bream advancing to third. Caminetti retired on a slow ground ball to move the runner.
Left fielder, number 26,
Got a business person special coming up on Wednesday, June 29th, 1:05 at Veterans Stadium. The Marlins in town, the third of 6 Fun in the Sun midweek baseball games. Compliments of Mellon PSFS. Always popular, so make your plans in advance by calling 463-1000. Well, here's Gonzalez. He got a run home on a ground out last time. He might not be able to do it here, though, because the infield is in. Phillies are not conceding this one. Ball game tied here in the 4th.
Well, that's the difference. Earlier on, it was 2-0, then 2-1 when they were playing the infield back. Now the game is 2-2, so they decided to play it in.
You see where the infielders are stationed. Gonzalez picked up his 25th run batted in back in the 2nd inning. 1 ball, 1 strike.
The dugout, microphone down there near the dugout, and you could hear some familiar voices not happy with that call by
We want to make it clear it's not us. You know, we're not commenting on those pitches.
No, Whitey might.
A drive to right field. Longmire on the run, makes the catch. Tagging at third, Bream. He doesn't run very well, but he gets in here to give the Astros a 3-2 lead. So another RBI for Gonzalez, this time a sacrifice fly.
They did a good job executing then to get that run to the Astros. The double, the ball pulled to the right side, and then the sacrifice fly here to Longmire, who is not going to get Sid Bream. That ball was hit to pretty deep right field.
2 outs in the inning. Bases now empty. Service the hitter. Scott struck out in his only at bat. Celebrated his 27th birthday here last night and had a big ball game. Had a double, a single, and a run batted in. And for a guy who is hitting only 176 at game time, that's a big night.
Well, he has a lot of extra base hits, does Service. I think we figured out last night 3/4 of his hits right now are close to it are extra base hits. So he doesn't have much of a batting average, but he is dangerous.
He sure made him count. 21 runs batted in with that batting average means when you do get a hit, you're getting it at the right time. Two balls and no strikes on Service.
He has 23 hits and 21 runs batted in.
Ground ball hit to third. Batiste has it. Off the glove of Jordan, who tried to backhand. It'll be an error on Batiste. Phillies have not played well defensively in this series. This is the first error today, but errors have cost them plenty in games 1 and 2.
And these are the plays the Astros have been making. The Phillies have not been making. As Batiste backhands it, but then he throws it low and in the dirt. Jordan can't come up with it, which is a tough play because it kind of hit right out on that cutout. You know, if it hits on the turf, then it's a lot easier hop, and if it hits a little further on the dirt, it's an easier hop. But when it hits where that one did, tougher one to pick.
That's why they charged the error to Batiste, and now the hitter is Andujar Cedeno. He's 0 for 1, ground ball to short. The Astros have been using the running game, not just in this series, but this season. They lead the league with 61 stolen bases. They got a catcher out there at first right now. Biggio's a stolen base guy. Two balls and no strikes.
Biggio was thrown out 17 times last year, one of the top totals in the league, and he only stole 15 bases. This year he's stolen 16. He's been thrown out once. He was picked off second last night. That was not a caught stealing.
Cedeno chases a pitch. Cedeno had the night off last night. Andy Stankiewicz played shortstop for Houston, which he has done twice in the games against the Phillies this year. In the air to left. Thompson should get it. And that takes care of the inning, but the Astros come on with 2 to take the lead. They do so with 2 hits, 1 error. Didn't figure in the scoring. 1 man left on base. And after 4, it's 3-2 Houston.
These guys are good.
Who are you calling guys?
Yeah.
Looks like you're in the finals. Ma'am, for the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
You're the defending ladies pool champion?
Yes, I am.
It started with an idea that has now won the prestigious Thomas Edison Patent Award, which annually recognizes major innovations in technology. The award was won by Exxon for a gasoline additive that removes deposits for a cleaner engine, reduces emissions for cleaner air, and improves performance. Next time you fill up, rely on the award-winning gasolines from Exxon.
Ford dealers have a system for repairs, starting with the service advisor. He's the main customer contact in diagnosing problems and getting the job done.
We'll get this car.
He can help save you time. He can help save you money. And you can find him here. Quality care, where the quality continues.
For service, see your Quality Plus Ford dealer. And while you're there, test drive the new Ford Windstar.
Well, here's how they scored. Phillies got 2 runs in the first inning with nobody out. Thompson and Dalton knocked them in with hits. Astros with 1 in the second on an infield out RBI by Luis Gonzalez. Astros took the lead in the 4th inning on an RBI double by Sid Bream and a sacrifice fly by Gonzalez, as we see some Phillies fans here in attendance at the Astrodome this weekend.
Heading for the 5th inning, Houston now on top by a run. Kevin Stocker leads it off. Stocker called out on strikes in his only at bat today. Mike Williams on deck, and then Lenny Dykstra. Kyle had a little trouble in the first inning. He's only given up 2 hits since then. Flare to left field, but Gonzalez, fleet of foot, comes in and makes the catch. Stocker is out, 1 down in the 5th. And now pitcher Mike Williams, who sacrificed his first trip to the plate tonight or this afternoon, but he'll be swinging away here, obviously. He's 1 for 7 as a hitter, has 1 hit, a double. Mike, a .207 lifetime hitter. Well, he wasn't sacrificing, but he was bunting for a hit. Kyle gave up 3 hits in the first inning. You know, he's had a lot of problems with walks. He comes in leading the league in walks, but he walked Lenny Dykstra to start the ball game, and nobody since. Hard hit ground ball up the middle, but Biggio's there to backhand and gets Williams. Two up and 2 down in the 5th. It's Lenny Dykstra time. Lenny walked and scored in the first, flied out to left in the second.
Center fielder, number 4, Lenny Dykstra.
Lenny at .307 for the year. Dykstra sharing the May honors as Player of the Month in the National League. Mike Piazza shares it with him. Interesting that Dykstra never won that award before.
Piazza has a 3-run home run already today against who'd hit it off Avery early in that game in Atlanta.
Knocked Avery out of that ball game early today. Right now it's 5-2 Dodgers over the Braves in the 8th. Dykstra, a 400 hitter off Kyle. 4 hits, 10 at-bats. And you get a reputation as a good hitter with a good eye. You get a call like that. That's a close pitch right there.
Kyle has gotten a lot better command since the first inning.
There's a call strike. You know, Wheels, it hasn't been that many years ago when he played for the Mets, and we remember seeing Dykstra in a Mets uniform. You did not like him. I mean, you know, he was one of those pesky kind of guys that just annoyed you.
Sure, and I'm sure he does that to the opposition.
That's
the kind of player he is. He likes to annoy people.
All part of his charm.
See, Kyle's making good pitches now. 2-2 there. Dykstra's trying to get on base, and he made a good pitch with a fastball that might have been a little bit high or maybe a little bit outside, but certainly close enough that Dykstra had to just try and spoil it. It wasn't a good pitch it wasn't a pitch he could do much with.
At this point, Kyle has made 55 pitches. Not a bad total for the 5th inning with 2 outs. Money making him work. We mentioned that the only walk he has issued today went to Dykstra. And the count is full once again. Kyle has not run that many deep counts today. Hard ground ball. Biggio plays it. That's an out. Off the bat, that looks like a base hit, but it's an out. And the Phillies are retired. We go to the bottom of the 5th. 3-2 Houston.
See the Phillies take on Ryne Sandberg and the Cubs Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, June 6th, 7th, and 8th, all at 7:35, followed by the Cardinals. Thursday and Friday, June 9th and 10th at 7:35, Saturday the 11th at 7:05, and a special Sunday night at 8:05 when men 15 and over get a free cap featuring the 93 championship logo, compliments of Texaco. The Cubs and the Cards capped off with a free hat. For tickets, call 463-1000.
Only TWA takes you to some of Europe's most exciting cities for some of the lowest prices around. With so many daily nonstop flights, it's never been easier or more convenient to get to the heart of Europe. Which is good news, considering how much Europe there is to see. In fact, with so many flights to so many destinations, you might say that TWA's put Europe at your feet.
TWA, most comfortable way to fly.
An experiment gone wrong creates a super telepath, and the thought police want him dead.
If necessary.
Mindquake!
Let him go! Don't make me do this. Walter Koenig guest stars on the next Babylon 5.
And Kane and Peter risk everything to protect the heir to a nation.
He must not be allowed to ascend the throne.
On the next Kung Fu.
Wednesday beginning at 8 on PHL 17.
Today's game brought to you by Bell Atlantic Mobile. A mobile phone is only as good as the system it's on. Choose Bell Atlantic Mobile, your Quality Plus Ford dealer. We invite you to test drive the brand new 94 Mustang convertible. And by Pico Energy, there's a new kind of energy around here, Pico Energy. It's Kyle leading off the 5th inning. The Astros lead by a 3-2 score. Kyle struck out the only time he has batted today. He's hitting at .091, but he does have one major league home run he connected last year off Omar Olivares on the 3rd of July. That might have set Omar back a bit. He's not even in the big leagues right now.
He's got a really slow bat, does Darryl Kyle. He looks like one of those guys, if you hit it, it might be dangerous because he's big.
Didn't hit that one. Strikeout number 6 for Mike Williams. One away here in the 5th. And now Craig Biggio, and Williams has struck him out twice.
On breaking balls. Talked about what a good defensive team these guys are. Watch the way Craig Biggio uses second base for protection. There's a lot of ways you can make the double play pivot. This is one of the best. He's way behind the bag after tagging it. There's no way the runner can get to him to disrupt his throw. It's an excellent pivot that he made on that double play. A lot of second basemen, you know, you'll come across out of control. Watch here the way you use the bag for protection. Good throw by Caminetti. Look at the steps behind the bag. Now what's a runner going to do? Can't get to him.
2 balls and no strikes. Incidentally, Mike Williams has just tied a career high for strikeouts. He did it against Florida September 21st of last year. And he also did it against Pittsburgh on September 28th of last year. I mentioned that Biggio has been his victim twice today. That's unusual. Biggio, not a guy that strikes out a lot, and he's ahead in the count here, 3-0. First walk of the day issued by Mike Williams.
Tell Biggio came up that time and decided to be more patient. In the first 2 at-bats, as Andy mentioned, he'd struck out. Well, he was chasing a lot of bad balls. And that time, you know, he had a different approach.
Finley will bat now. Finley does not have the ball out of the infield today. 0 for 2 on a grounder to short and a grounder to second. Houston leads 3-2, and we're in the 5th. The Astros are heading to Montreal after the game. They'll play the Expos tomorrow night. The Expos will be coming in from Wrigley Field, Chicago, where they're playing the Cubs, who are headed to Veterans Stadium. A foul ball. Oh boy, you know a ball is hard hit when your first baseman tries to catch it and winds up foul.
And Bruce Fleming, the first base umpire, had to get out of the way of it and then turn around and see what happened. That ball was smoked. There is the veteran Bruce Fleming.
Phillies are getting some bullpen action. Andy Carter. Houston leads 3-2. 1 on, 1 out in the 5th. Finley has tied a career high this year with his 8 home runs. Finley just 5 for his last 23, so not hitting a whole lot. But here wanting to advance Biggio if he can. Biggio has stolen 16 bases in 17 tries. You talked about the way he turned it around as a base stealer this year.
Oh, he's done a great job running the bases. The Astros, the best base stealing team in the league. Mike Williams holds runners on pretty well. He has a decent move to first, and he's fairly quick to the plate. So that helps Dalton if he decides to go.
He's going. That's a foul ball. Made a good break, too.
Yeah, he read Mike Williams perfectly that time. The other thing is, if Williams throws a curveball, he's going to steal the base.
The Astros are a pretty good offensive club. They've hit more home runs than the Phillies. The Phillies don't have a homer in this series, incidentally, and the Astros for the year have hit 55 home runs, the Phillies 48. This was a ballpark where it all began for the Phillies last year. If you recall, they opened the season here, took those 3 games. They were tough ball games. They faced good pitching. They won one of them in extra innings, and it kind of set the tone for the year, for the whole season.
Right, because they came in here and had to face Drabek and Swindell, who the high-priced free agents who had just come over, and the Astros were looking to win the division.
69 pitches by Mike Williams, and that doesn't include throws to first base.
Biggio can't get much more of a lead than he has right now. Williams has come close to getting him a couple times. But Biggio knows he is maxed out on his lead. He got a little frisky last night off second, and they picked him off.
He's back. He has 1 foot off the cutout.
The pitcher sees that out of the corner of his eye, and that will normally bother a pitcher. You know, where he sees that 1 foot on the cutout, he knows that that base runner has a pretty good lead. There you see it.
Biggio holding, and the ball is fouled back.
He wanted to go then, but the spring had gone out of his legs at that point. A move over to first, and then Williams held the ball a little bit. And Biggio, the reason I think he steals so many bases, other than the fact that he's become intelligent in reading pitchers, is he has a great first step. It's not that he's all that fast. He's fast enough, but he has a real good break when he goes.
When you think back to the Astro decision to move him out from behind the plate, it now looks like a very, very solid decision. He's going. It was a pitch out, but Dalton's throw is not good. A stolen base for Biggio, his 17th. The Phillies called the play right. It just didn't work.
Yeah, Dalton, who's become really a good thrower in the last couple of years, just makes a poor throw this time. They guessed right, and the throw was high and wide. No chance.
One out in the inning. Runner at second base. And Dalton, who really is throwing very, very well, just didn't have a good one there. It's a full count on Finley, I should say. The Astros are 7 out of 8 in stolen bases in this series.
And Biggio has shown that he will try to steal third. So you see Stocker sneaking in behind him a little bit to try and keep him close.
Finley has knocked in 22 for the year. Finley had a long consecutive game streak. Ended last year when he suffered a broken bone and had to sit out. Biggio's at second. There's one out. That's not going to move the runner. Shallow right field. Longmire calls off Duncan to make the play, and Biggio has to stay put. So that's not a good at bat for Finley. Now Kevin Bass. Bass has struck out and doubled in the game. He scored 1 run.
The Astrodome in the daytime can be a problem for balls in the air. Because the ball gets up into the dome up there where it's very bright, as you see by that shot. And you'll see a lot of outfielders do not like to run to a spot in the daytime here. They will watch the ball the whole time because they're afraid when they look back up they won't find it.
Breaking ball to Bass is ball 1. Astros lead it 3-2 in the 5th. Williams gets behind in the count 2-0, and the pitches get a little fatter at that point. Williams in trouble here because he walked Biggio, the only walk he is allowed. Gets that breaking ball over for a strike, and it's 2-1. Kevin Bass was once asked for a TV interview by our buddy Tim McCarver, and Kevin said, well, what's your gift? And Timmy said, well, what do you want? And he said, I want your shoes. I asked Kevin the other night, you still have those shoes? He says, yes, I do. They're gathering dust in the closet, he says. 3 balls and a strike on Bass.
Timmy's become so famous. I mean, maybe those shoes are worth something.
They would be to Timmy if he could get them back.
He liked them.
Bream on deck. What were they, alligators?
I don't know, but he remembers that, and he talks fondly of those shoes that he gave up. He should have never offered them. I don't think he thought Bass would take him up on it.
No.
He's got Bass shaking his head right now because he's pitched backwards to him twice. 2-0 breaking ball for a strike, 3-1 breaking ball for a strike. But to Bass's credit, he didn't go fishing for either one of them. You know, he saw the breaking ball and took his chances that it would be a ball. and Williams was able to get both of them over.
Did you really say, or did you think Bass didn't go fishing? Did you?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I wasn't trying to pun one there.
Okay.
Not a punster. Another one.
Another breaking ball. Well, he had the base open, so he did not give in to him. However, Sid Bream's coming up, and he's been hot, and Jim Fregosi's going to make a move. He wants Carter to face Bream. Jim wants to keep this ball game right where it is. The Phillies are down by a run, and so he's going to make sure this thing stays put right here. So it's 4 2/3 innings for Mike Williams today. 79 pitches as he exits. We've got a pitching change. The AT&T call to the bullpen salutes the Hibbert Group in Trenton, New Jersey, comprehensive marketing service firm that offers database management and direct marketing.
Retirement? I'm too young to be worried about retiring.
I'm set. I've been socking away a little of my paycheck every month.
The same company for almost 20 years. They'll take care of me.
You bet I got my nest egg covered.
In these uncertain financial times, turn to Nationwide Financial Services for a wide range of investment alternatives, most of which are tax advantaged. Because someday soon, the quality of your life may depend on the quality of your investments.
If you've got a group of 25 or more, we'll give you a great time at a Phillies game. For all the details about a special package for your group at a Phillies game, call 463-5000.
Astros lead 3-2 in the 5th inning. Travel arranged through U.S. Air, offering daily nonstop service between Philadelphia and Mexico City. Nonstop to Mexico City. U.S. Air begins with you. Not a bad effort at all by Mike Williams, but he's out of the ball game here. He's got no chance to win it. Could be the loser, of course, as the Phillies trail by a run here, and he had trouble with Sid Bream, so Jim Fregosi brings Andy Carter in to try to get Bream out. Carter appearing in his 12th ball game. Andy 0-2, a 3.18 earned run average. Bream has singled and doubled, scoring twice and driving in a run.
This is another chance to find out something about Andy Carter, too. And as you mentioned, Andy, this is to try and keep the game close and not let it get away, because the Astros have shown their bullpen's really good, and it's tough to come back against them. But they also want to find out whether Carter can get out a pretty good left-handed hitter here.
Bream probably would not be starting this ball game had the Phillies started a left-hander today. He bats basically off right-handed pitching. Doesn't have that many at bats this year, so his 2 for 2 today puts him at .421 for the year now. Let's pause here for station identification. The Phillies Television Network.
You're watching Phillies baseball on WPHL TV, Philadelphia.
Three balls and no strikes. There's a strike. 3-1 now on Bream. So Carter's got to make a pitch here. The next hitter is Caminetti, and of course he can hit from either side. Off the end of the bat down the left field line, foul ball and unplayable. Talking about Caminetti, by the way, we were talking earlier about that great weekend when he first came to the big leagues. The date that occurred was July 16th of 1987. In his major league debut here against the Phillies, he tripled and he homered and he walked all in 9 innings. And he also made 4 spectacular plays at third base. And the Phillies been keeping an eye on him ever since.
That was off. His major league debut was off Kevin Gross, and he hit a home run off him that night.
Runners go, and Andy Carter does the job as he strikes out Sid Bream. So for the Astros in the 5th, no runs, no hits. They leave 2. They lead the game 3-2.
Rick. Hey, Brian. How the wife and kids? How's your mom? She says hi.
Good. And the winner of tonight's match receives Ice Cold Bud Light. Bud Light!
The great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down. Make it a Bud Light.
Where are they going?
Shopping.
9 out of 10 use it. All aboard! The genuine Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages.
It comes specially equipped with dual airbags, cruise control, air conditioning, 4-speaker AM/FM cassette stereo, and power accessories like luxury sedans costing twice the money. The 1994 Nissan Altima GXE. It not only defines what a luxury car should be, it redefines what a luxury car should cost. Lease the Altima for just $750 down and $229 a month for 36 months.
All-Star balloting taking place right now. Your chance to vote for your best All-Stars to play in the 1994 Texaco All-Star Game in Pittsburgh on July 12th. Ballots available at Veterans Stadium or at any participating Texaco outlet. Don't wait too long. The balloting ends on June 27th. Andy Musser with Chris Wheeler as we go to the 6th inning of our ball game here at the Dome today. The Stros are ahead 3-2. Phillies batting with Mariano Duncan to lead off. Not quite as chilly here in the Dome as it once was. They keep the temperature just a little higher.
It's a lot higher. You can tell the way some of the pitchers sweat in here now, too. They never used to do that.
Duncan is 1 for 2. Kyle starts him with a high breaking ball.
It's become much more hitter friendly because of the way they moved the fences in. They put those scoreboards out up there, which made it a shorter porch. And it's warmer, and they think the ball's carrying a little more.
Fly ball not deep in center, but Finley has time to come on. He makes the catch. Duncan is retired, 1 out in the 6th. Kyle has really settled in since the first inning. A shaky start for him. He hasn't won a game here at the Dome yet this year.
Unfortunately for the Phillies in this series, they have jumped out in all 3 games in the first inning. And the first 2 games they weren't able to win the game. In this game they trail, but there's still a lot of time left, only in the 6th inning.
Milt Thompson 1 for 2, RBI single in the first. Another brand new lineup unveiled by Fregosi today. It's Thompson's first appearance in the number 3 hole.
Well, he had to rest some people today. You know, he can't play Kruk all the time. He's hobbling around. He does not like to play Jim Eisenreich day games after night games. There's Kruk.
Got the shades on there on the bench. A 2-1 count on Thompson. Milt hitting at 286. Chopper. Caminetti almost got over his head. What a play. How do you get one by him anyway?
Thompson didn't get out of the box either. I don't know whether he spun or what. See, oh, there it is. His back foot went out because he didn't get a good break out of the box. Caminetti has to throw off his back leg, and you think this play would have been a lot closer than it was. But Caminetti makes a fine play, and the reason it wasn't closer is, as you saw when Thompson hit it, he didn't get a good break out of the box.
Well, he's made some nice ones today, including starting one around the horn double play. Here's Dalton. High ball 1. Darren today 1 for 2, RBI single in the first. Dalton once hit 2 home runs in 1 ball game against Kyle. Center field should be easy for Finley. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Kyle. We go to the bottom half of the 6th. 3-2 Houston.
Retirement? I'm too young to be worried about retiring.
I'm set. I've been socking away a little of my paycheck every month.
The same company for almost 20 years. They'll take care of me.
You bet I've got my nest egg covered.
In these uncertain financial times, turn to Nationwide Financial Services for a wide range of investment alternatives, most of which are tax advantaged. Because someday soon, the quality of your life may depend on the quality of your investments.
You can't use a mobile phone to say,
"Okay, we're ready to sign a contract."
You can't use a mobile phone to whisper.
"Daddy misses you too, sweetheart."
A mobile phone will not let you send.
Here comes the fax.
And it will not let you hear.
The meeting's been changed.
Unless
Hello?
the call goes through. A mobile phone is only as good as the system it's on. Choose Bell Atlantic Mobile.
Mariano Duncan and the National League champion Phillies return home to start the week against the Chicago Cubs. Tomorrow on PHO 17. The Cubs and the Phillies have had a tradition of great games, and it's going to take more than realignment to cool this rivalry. It's the Phillies and the Cubs tomorrow and Tuesday night at 7:30, only on PHO 17, the home of the National League champion Phillies.
We play the Phillies on 17.
Phil's Cubs tomorrow at 7:30.
Today's Phillies game is brought to you by Budweiser, Beechwood aged for a crisp, clean, classic taste. Dodge, see the award-winning lineup of new cars and trucks at your local Dodge dealers. And by Motorola Pagers. Never miss an important call. Pocket a pager from Motorola. We're going to the bottom half of the sixth inning. The Astros up by a run, 3-2. And Caminetti starts it off. And we just saw another one of his outstanding defensive plays. Even if he doesn't get any hits, he'll help you out. And he does have a hit today. He has doubled in 2 at-bats. Andy Carter starts the inning. Andy will work from the stretch. He always does, base runners or no. In the air to center. Dykstra back. Has room. Almost the deepest part of the park. There's a little well in center that's a bit deeper than where he hit it, but not much.
That ball's really carrying here. It looked like he got jammed a little bit then, or else off the end of the bat, and it took off, and saw how close it was to the wall. It used to be Death Valley when he played this place. Had to hit all the home runs in the seats.
Interesting game for Gonzalez. 2 runs batted in, 1 on a ground out, for which of course he is charged in at bat, and 1 on a sacrifice fly, for which he is not.
Notice the trend in the game lately is not to make too many ball parts longer. They're shortening them.
That's right.
It is not a pitcher's game right now.
Jam job, foul, out of play.
But he talks about the lack of pitching and all the pitching problems, and it's true. But there's nothing in the sport right now that's being done to make pitching any easier.
Including the strike zone.
Which is
something that's not, they haven't legislated any changes there, but the interpretation of it is a smaller strike zone.
Except for that pitch. But it is basically, and the ballparks are becoming a lot.
See what you mean.
Smaller. Yeah, that ball's a little outside, but, you know.
Well, what you strive for is consistency. I mean, if it's going to be bigger or if it's going to be smaller, whichever it is, get everybody to call it the same way. Andy Carter, a native Philadelphian.
And he did the job last inning that they wanted. He fell behind Bream 3-0, but Andy Carter came back and got Bream out and kept it to a 1-run game. And now they're trying to get a little more out of him to keep it to a 3-2 ball game.
Andy, a product of Springfield High School, Montgomery County, attended the University of Delaware. Had a basketball scholarship there. Full count on Gonzalez. Carter won the Paul Owens Award in 1988. That's given every year to the outstanding minor leaguer in the Phillies system. Broken bat, looper, caught. Humpback liner, Batiste makes the grab. And Gonzalez will not be using that stick again. How about those Atlanta Braves? 4 in the 8th, and they now lead the Dodgers 6-5. Nice weekend for those Dodgers in Atlanta, huh?
Well, not unless they rally in the 9th. They've had a tough time, but that division is so bad right now that the Dodgers are still in pretty good shape because the Giants have been so futile.
Here's Scott Service. How about picking up the paper today and seeing 2 Texas teams in first place? The Astros and the Texas Rangers have taken charge to some degree in that AL West.
Yeah, they're almost up to 500.
Almost 2 games shy of it.
Giants are having a big game today. They hit Sutcliffe with 6 in the first, and they're winning 8-1. The Giants are the worst hitting team in the league.
Was Will Clark that important?
He was real important. Absolutely. You wouldn't think he'd have been that important, but you know, you take a 3-hole hitter out of your lineup of that magnitude, you bet it's going to have an effect.
Giants have had other problems, of course. Bonds is playing through injuries, and Thompson has been hurt a lot of the year, and Willie McGee has been lame twice.
And Swift's on the disabled list, although he's coming off, and Burkett has had a dry spell. So they have had a lot of things go wrong, have the Giants, but you mentioned losing Will Clark. That is a big loss. You can't pay everybody nowadays. No team can.
Carter just misses with his knuckle curve. It's 2 balls and a strike. Scott Service trying to get comfortable. Doesn't look like he is. Two and 2. Andy Carter, 25 years of age. Carter will always remember his major league debut when he was ejected. Faced 3 hitters and hit 2 of them.
Instead of him getting paid that night, he had to pay the league. He's done a good job lately, though. He has pitched very well on this road trip, especially. They used him in a couple situations in Chicago that were important, and he did a good job. And so far in this game, he's done a good job. And he's the only left-hander Fregosi has at this point.
That's right. David West in the starting rotation. West will get his next start Wednesday. Incidentally, the Cubs pitcher on Wednesday is going to be Kevin Foster. He's the young man that the Phillies traded to Chicago to get Sean Bosky. Foster recently called up, won his first major league game, or first game for the Cubs, and he'll be facing the Phillies on Wednesday. 3-2 pitch. It's foul. Dalton will not have room. Hits the ball to left. Thompson can't get it. It's going to be extra bases, and it's a ground rule double for Service.
Another extra base hit for that guy.
Had a double here last night. That's the first hit off Carter.
Well, Andy Carter gets the ball up out over the plate a little bit, it looked like here. Fastball away, and Scott Service hooks it down the left field line. Service now has 8 doubles, 1 triple, and 5 home runs. And he has, what, 23 hits, 24 hits. So most of them are extra base hits.
Going to walk Cedeno and pitch to Kyle. Free pass coming here for Cedeno. Fans don't like to see this, but it's the way it is. We were talking about Foster, Wills. I guess he didn't win that game because the Cubs, we're talking about his debut in a Cub uniform. He didn't win, but he pitched well.
Right. He had 7 innings, Andy. I think he only gave up 2 or 3 hits in 7 innings. They took him out. And in the 8th inning, Milligan hit a 2-run home run to put Montreal ahead. And then the Expos wound up winning it 3-1. That was on Friday.
There's ball 4 to Cedeno to put 2 Astros on base with 2 outs. Kyle is not a good hitter, as we've noticed here this afternoon. He struck out both times he's been up there, and Collins sees his team ahead by a 3-2 score. And Jim Fregosi trying to defuse this one right here. So 2 on with 2 outs.
Well, Fregosi knows he can walk Cedeno in that spot and get Kyle up, because they're not going to hit for Kyle in this situation.
Kyle with 12 major league hits, 2 of them this year. Incidentally, both of his hits this year have been extra base blows. So when he connects, he makes good contact. He just doesn't connect that much. One on Kyle.
I don't think you should throw him a whole lot of things. The speed is bad up. He looks like he has a really slow bat, and most pitchers can throw fastballs by him.
There's another off-speed pitch. 2 balls and 1 strike on Kyle. Should be a fastball here, but it's out of the strike zone. This is not working out well.
No,
not so far anyway.
Well, that has a manager pacing, because of a high percentage move, of course, is to walk Cedeno to get to a weak hitting pitcher.
And who's on deck? Biggio. He swings at it, though, breaks his bat, and the Phillies get a force out to end the inning. So it finally did work out. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left. Harry Kalas and Rich Ashburn back in the 7th. 3-2 Astros.
I'm bored. Let's count the palm trees again. Why are you looking at me like that, Iggy?
You okay?
Cut it out. You're weirding me, man. Stop looking at me like that, would ya? You're creeping me out. Cut that out, man.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Iggy, you're gonna twist my head off. Iggy.
It was for immigrants and their children and their dreams. It was for families. For new beginnings. And today, there's still just one reason why we always do our best. It's for you. Mellon PSFS.
There's a new kind of energy around here. A company that can meet your energy needs well into the next century without building even one new plant, which means no large increase in the cost of your service. A company whose oil-fired generators will also run on natural gas, another way to help keep your bill down. There's a new energy company around here, and a new name. Pico Energy, focusing our energies on you.
It's a free photo pack with pictures of Phillies players for kids 14 and under, compliments of Mellon PSFS. When the Phils play the Braves Sunday, June 26th at 1:35. Free photos, Big Bad Braves. Call 463-1000.
After 6 innings of play, it's Houston 3 and the Phillies 2. Tomorrow at 6:30, Al plans to produce God's Shoes, and at 7, Kelly wants to be a model on Married with Children, only on PHL 17. Ricky Jordan will lead it off for the Phillies here in the 7th. Phils trail by a run, got both runs in the 1st inning. Jordan has struck out and fly to right as Heathcliff Slocum loosens up in the Phillies bullpen. The Phils get down to Andy Carter. They would bat for him. Jordan has struck out and flied out to right. Missing with a breaking ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Atlanta Braves came back against the Dodgers, huh, and swept that series.
4 runs in the 8th inning.
Wow. Two and one to Ricky Jordan. Three balls and a strike. Fouls it out of play down the right field side. A full count to Jordan. Darryl Kyles only walked one. That was leadoff man Lenny Dykstra. Came into the league. Came into the game leading the league in walks. Bouncing ball to Biggio. Jordan's retired. One down.
Would have been a walk, but it was a little high, but Jordan went after it.
I'll bring up Tony Longmire. He got the last hit off. Kyle singled in the 4th inning. He is also grounded out. In the air to left field. Gonzalez backtracking. He's there in front of the warning track. Longmire retired. 2 down. It'll bring up Kim Baptiste. Baptiste has singled and grounded into a double play.
Third baseman, number 5, Kim Baptiste.
This with a breaking ball. 1 ball and no strikes to Baptiste.
Phillies have scored in the 1st inning of every game here, but only 1 run in the other innings after the 1st inning.
Keeps a foul back and out of play. 1-1. This is a foul down the first base side. 1 ball and 2 strikes. On away, 2-2 to Kim Baptiste. Boy, did he get jammed. 1 hop to Cedeno. Baptiste is retired, and that will retire the Phils. No runs, hits, errors, and none left. Stretch time of the Dome. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Houston leads 3-2.
On Renegade.
I want you to go outside, make a deal for us. No matter what you think, you're not getting out of here.
An armed robbery turns into a deadly hostage crisis.
Look, they're giving you 1 hour. Then they start tossing bodies out.
Now, Reno's caught between a wanted murderer.
They got 1 hour, and I start shooting!
And a dirty cop who wants him dead.
He's a cop killer. His name is Reno Raines.
Don't miss the next Renegade.
Tonight at 7 on PHL 17.
winds of change are blowing away old ideas and bringing the all-new Ford Windstar. A totally new minivan. Windstar's innovative design moves the wheels out, stretching the wheelbase, creating the most passenger and cargo room of all leading minivans. And with a quieter interior, Windstar takes the minivan in a whole new direction. The all-new front-wheel drive Ford Windstar. The future of minivans begins today.
Introducing two calm, cool, collected guys. They're suave. They're sexy.
I'm gonna jump your bone.
They're sophisticated.
Check his pocket, see if he has any money.
They're mature adults who are always in control.
Listen to yourself for a moment.
Hot. And they came from outer space. Weeknights at 5 on PHL 17.
Hello, I'm Dick Vermeil. Stress. Is it a natural part of life? Stress is your body's response to the demands of life. Exercise or physical activity is the #1 stress reliever. Before you begin an exercise program, check with your doctor.
Jim Eisenreich comes into play right field. He'll bat in the 9 spot. The new pitcher is Heathcliff Slocum. He will bat in the number 6 spot, vacated by Tony Longmire. And Biggio takes one down and in for a ball. 1-0 to Craig Biggio. He struck out twice and walked. Slocum is appearing in his 28th game. He's won 4, lost none. No saves, a 2.95 ERA. Heathcliff in 36 2/3 innings, 36 hits, 12 earned runs, has struck out 31 and walked 16. He's on for Andy Carter, who pitched 1 1/3 innings, giving up a hit and no runs.
Ball almost hit Biggio. He was up there to try to beat out a bunt.
Three balls and a strike to Biggio. He chased a high pitch and he popped it up on the right side. Mariano Duncan makes the play.
Well, they scored a couple of runs in the first inning on 2 singles to lead 2-0. Houston gets a run back in the second and then 2 in the fourth to give the Astros the lead. Back-to-back doubles in the fourth and a sacrifice fly. That's how we stand, 3-2. Our Chevrolet game summary.
Steve Finley is nothing out of 3, and he pops a foul down the left field side. A long run. Stocker makes the play in foul ground. Well, that's 2 down, and that'll bring on Kevin Bass. Bass has struck out, doubled, and walked.
Right fielder, number 17, Kevin Bass.
On the inside corner for a strike. Tom Edens, the right-hander, is going to get up in Houston's bullpen. Darryl Kyle has retired 10 in a row.
Weak outs in there, too. Jam jobs, little pop-ups.
There's a little pop-up to shortstop Stocker to retire the side. No runs, hits, errors, and none left. We go to the 8th inning. 3-2 Houston.
Driver, do you have any Bud Light in your vehicle?
Yes.
And I am Mr. Gallywikich.
You mean Dr. Galakowicz?
Yes, I am. This is so cool. First time in a limo? Doctor?
In a limo this small.
If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light.
Frank Lobiando's entire campaign has been distorted negative attacks against Bill Gormley. Why? Lobiando doesn't want you to think about this. Lobiando repeatedly voted to raise taxes. Lobiando broke his own no-tax pledge. And Lobiando keeps breaking federal election law. No wonder leading newspapers agree you can trust Bill Gormley. He's the clear choice because Gormley's proven he gets things done for us. Bill Gormley, getting results for South Jersey.
I wonder what the warranty covers. How does Prism's 24-hour roadside assistance work anyway? Can I get anti-lock brakes? Are the dual airbags really standard?
Before you buy a new car, you have a lot of questions. Call 1-800-GET-TO-KNOW and get to know all the answers about the Geo Prism.
How about if I just take this one?
Today's Phillies game on PHL 17 is brought to you in part by Nissan. We build more into every car and truck we make. Nissan, it's time to expect more from a car. By Bell Atlantic Mobile. A mobile phone is only as good as the system it's on. Choose Bell Atlantic Mobile. And by the Pennsylvania Lottery. Lottery proceeds benefit older Pennsylvanians. Kevin Stocker leads off for the Phils. He'll be followed by Jim Eisenreich and then Lenny Dykstra here in the 8th inning. Stocker has struck out and flied out to left. 3-2, Houston leads. 1 ball and no strikes to Stocker. Two balls and no strikes to Stocker. Two and one. He misses with it. 3 balls and a strike. Stocker works a leadoff walk. Just the second walk given up by Kyle, and the batter will be Jim Eisenreich. Eyes batting for the first time, hitting at .324.
That's Mel Stottlemyre looking at his pitchers he has available, and the bullpen is in action down there.
Tom Edens already was up. He'll be joined by the left-hander Mike Hampton. Got that one over for a strike.
Where's that Mitch Williams when we need him?
He's in Hyco, Texas, Whitey, at his ranch. It might be a double play. And is. Phillies have hit into all kinds of double plays in this series.
Yeah, they haven't. The Astros have not failed to turn at any double play they've had, and they've turned a couple you didn't think they were going to turn. Cedeno made that play with quick release down there.
Brings on Lenny Dykstra. He has walked and scored a run, fly to deep left, and grounded out. Game at Fenway has been tied in the bottom half of the 9th inning on a 2-run home run by Wes Chamberlain. Texas and Boston tied 7-7.
Oh, when Wes left the team in Chicago, he thought that might be a pretty good park for him. Had a couple of base hits yesterday in a game the Red Sox lost.
Two balls and no strikes to Lenny Dykstra. Three and nothing. Dykstra walks for the second time in the ball game, the 45th time this year. He leads the league in that department. Third walk given up by Kyle, and the batter will be Mariano Duncan.
Second baseman, number 7, Mariano Duncan.
Duncan has singled and scored a run. He's grounded out and flied out to center. Well, he's stolen 10 bases. He's been thrown out 3 times. Breaking ball on the outside corner. Low with a fastball. 1-1. Lenny Dykstra first base. 2 outs here in the 8th inning. Trying to throw again. Double play ground ball really helping Kyle here in this 8th. Foul ball. One ball and 2 strikes. Lenny back. Now Dykstra goes and is beaten foul by Duncan.
Dykstra had a good jump too, but Duncan had to swing at that pitch or he'd have been called out.
Come on, John.
One and 2. This is a ground ball to Cedeno, who shovels to Biggio for the force on Dykstra, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, and one left. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Houston leads 3-2.
This isn't about basketball. It's about business.
Here's a short course on small business.
So what if you're not the biggest business in the game?
Get the ball?
You still succeed because you call the shots.
And take advantage of the big guys when you need to.
Like now with AT&T. Switch and save 20% on business long distance. But it's meant for small businesses, not you big guys.
This can't wait. Can't believe this guy.
So call now and save 20%. Let AT&T work for you.
This summer, get ready to roll at Napa, the place more people rely on to keep their vehicles running and to help them save. Right now, Napa motor oil is only 89 cents a quart. Napa Silver air filters are as low as $2.99. And this 59-piece Evercraft tool set is an incredibly low $19.99. So stop by your nearest Napa Auto Parts store today and get ready to roll.
We keep America running. We keep America running.
It comes specially equipped with dual airbags, cruise control, air conditioning, 4-speaker AM/FM cassette stereo, and power accessories like luxury sedans costing twice the money. The 1994 Nissan Altima GXE. It not only defines what a luxury car should be, it redefines what a luxury car should cost. Lease the Altima for just $750 down and $229 a month for 36 months.
Good afternoon. I'm Neil Hartman with a sports break. In the National League, the Braves are now 18-1 against the National League West after a come-from-behind 6-5 win over the Dodgers today. 4 runs in the 8th, capped off by this Jeff Blauser 2-out, 2-run double wins it. You've got Pittsburgh leading Colorado and Montreal out in front of Chicago. San Francisco 9, St. Louis 1. New York leads Cincinnati in the 8th, and there's the Atlanta final. Back to the Astrodome.
Sid Bream hits it to deep short. Stocker bounces the throw, and they just got Sid Bream. No, Stocker used the AstroTurf to bounce the throw, and they nipped Bream by a half a stride.
Yeah, that's the only way they were going to get him, was to bounce it. He couldn't get that much on the throw. Bream can't run very well.
We'll bring on Ken Caminetti. Caminetti is double, grounded out, and fly to deep center. (3-2), Houston leads. We're in the bottom of the 8th. Scheduled to hit for the Phillies in the 9th, Milt Thompson, Darren Dalton, and Ricky Jordan. And Houston's bullpen is silent. So Darryl Kyle evidently will come out for the 9th inning. He has not pitched a complete game yet this year. Two balls and no strikes to Caminetti. Smothers a foul down the right field side, 2-1. Nice play by the senior citizen ball man. Didn't even use his glove.
He hasn't fallen asleep out there yet.
Out of play, 2-2. There's Darryl Kyle. Now Houston is going to start to get bullpen activity. That's Big John Hudak. Full count. Fast into center. That'll drop for a hit for Caminetti. His second hit. Houston 6, their first hit off Slocum, and that'll bring on Luis Gonzalez. Gonzalez has grounded out to drive in a run, hit a sacrifice fly to drive in a run, and popped up. Oh for 2, but 2 RBIs. One ball and no strikes. Two and nothing. Phil's home tomorrow night against the Chicago Cubs. Televising tomorrow and Tuesday nights for you. Sean Bosky against Jim Bullinger tomorrow night. Tuesday, Danny Jackson and Anthony Young. 3 balls and no strikes. Scott Service waiting on deck. Walked him on 4 pitches. That'll move Caminetti to second base. And with 1 out, it'll bring on Scott Service. Houston leads it by a run.
Terry Collins, 21 years in the minor leagues before getting a manager's job. He even quit 1 year.
And then the bullpen coach for Jim Leland. Good catch by Dalton of a low pitch. One ball and no strikes to Scott Service. Now they're going after a high pitch, 1-1. Service has struck out, lived on there, and doubled. There are the base runners, Caminetti at second and Gonzalez at first.
A good slider. That was a ball also low and away a little bit. At least it was low.
One and two. Back through the middle, a base hit to center field. Caminetti will score, and Houston leads it 4-2. So he had Service chasing bad pitches, and he gave him one right down the heart of the plate, and it's now 4-2.
Exactly right. He's a slider, and it was right through the middle. Service has really hurt the Phillies in this series, and he's only hitting about 180 some.
Here's Andujar Cedillo. He's grounded out, flied out, and been intentionally walked. One ball and no strikes to him. So Houston getting the insurance run here in the 8th inning. Chris Donalds is in the on-deck circle to bat for Darryl Kyle. 1 ball and 1 strike. Kyle, 8 strong innings, gave up 2 first-inning runs, and that was it. And the Astros will call on John Hudek to try to close out this sweep here at the Astrodome. What a difference a year makes. The Phillies opened the season here last year, and the prospect of facing Brabeck, Swindell, and Harnish, most people were kind of hoping the Phils would salvage one out of that series. Well, they swept it and didn't look back. Pitch low, and it's 2-1.
There's Harnish, and he's recuperating from an injury.
On the disabled list. He's now going to quickly get Larry Anderson up in the bullpen. As Slocum is having trouble throwing strikes here, it's 3-1.
And he had an easy inning in the 7th, but he just doesn't seem to be quite in rhythm here.
Chasing the pitch as the runners go, and out at third base is Luis Gonzalez. That's kind of a strange play, as wild as Slocum has been, playing hit and run with a 3-1 count.
Well, Cedeno swung at a ball way high and inside. Look at this pitch. I mean, that's up there around the letters.
That was ball 4, and the bases would have been loaded with 1 out. Instead, runner at second base and 2 outs. Fouls it back, and it's still 3-2. Times hitters will see those runners moving. They feel like they have to swing, and Cedeno did swing at ball 4.
I don't know why they feel they have to swing. You know, you don't have to swing.
I know.
Especially the pitch way out of the strike zone.
I think it's going to be real hard to walk Cedeno here.
Well, he's a wild swinger.
He has been intentionally walked today, and among the league leaders in intentional walks, he's received 10 of them. Struck him out with a good fastball, and that will retire the side. Houston gets a run in the inning. On 2 hits, no errors, they leave 1. We go to the 9th with the score 4-2 Houston.
Even with all the discussion about our nation's health care, Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield continue their 56-year mission more aggressively than ever. Thanks to the Blue Cross Blue Shield Caring Foundation, thousands of needy kids receive free health coverage at no cost to our commercial customers. Our special care program makes basic and preventive benefits available to hard-working adults who can't afford traditional coverage. We cover hundreds of thousands of individuals, senior citizens, and small businesses, giving them the peace of mind that comprehensive insurance can provide, which in most cases would not be available elsewhere. All this, plus our attractive, affordable programs like Personal Choice and Keystone. And we're doing the job with one of the lowest administrative expense ratios in the nation. That helps hold down your premiums. Within this ever-changing healthcare environment, Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield stand by their commitment to high-quality, accessible health insurance for everyone. No wonder we're the health plan you can lean on.
Ford Probe, Thunderbird, and the all-new Mustang are simply fun to drive. With special prices now during May, every performance Ford is simply a better deal. Only at your Quality Plus Ford dealer. Just announced, get 2.9% financing on a hot new Ford Probe. Get a great price on Thunderbird LX, just $17,525. Test drive the new look Mustang, Motor Trend's Car of the Year. Hurry, see your Quality Plus Ford dealer today. Get to Wawa to see if you're a winner of one of 30 Ford Mustangs.
After 8 innings of play, it's Houston 4 and the Phillies 2. Tonight at 8, Xavier St. Cloud is back to kill the Immortals. Don't miss Highlander, and it's new time, only on PHL 17. James Mouton coming into play right field, and the new pitcher will be John Hudak. So Hudak will come in and try to save this one for Darryl Kyle. Kyle going 8 innings. Charged with 2 runs on 5 hits. Low strikeout game for him. He only struck out 1 and walked 3, and now it's Hudak, the hard-throwing right-hander, appearing in his 18th game. No wins, no losses, 7 saves. His ERA is 0.53. In 17 innings, he's given up 7 hits and just 1 run, 21 strikeouts, 6 walks. Milt Thompson, 1 out of 3, is knocked in a run, leads off against him. 1 ball and 1 strike. Fouls it to the screen. 1 and 2 will pause for station identification on the Phillies television network.
You're watching Phillies baseball on WPHL TV, Philadelphia.
Ball and 2 strikes to Milt Thompson. Just missing a little bit low. It's 2 and 2. Really jammed him, broke his bat. Green shovels to Hudak cover just in time to get Thompson. It's 1 down. That'll bring on Darren Dalton. Phillies are home tomorrow night, don't forget. Chicago will be moving in. The Cubs will be in Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 7:35. And St. Louis for a 4-game series. Thursday and Friday at 7:35. Next Saturday at 7:05 and Sunday at 8:05. Don't forget it's a Sunday night game. Men's caps on Sunday night for all men 15 and over. For tickets, call 463-1000. Darren Dalton has singled in 3 at-bats, and he has knocked in a run. One ball and 1 strike. Outside corner, 1 and 2.
Fella's giving up a half a run a game.
Yeah, he is.
Making some good pitches, too. He really, you said, jammed Milt.
He gets his fastball up there and the fast gun up around the mid-90s.
I got him at 93 and 94. Last one was 95.
The arm this guy has, you wonder how 2 organizations could have given up on him. Both the White Sox and the Tigers did. But he throws hard. Skied in the air down the left field foul line. Ken Caminetti makes the play in fair territory. 2 down, and that'll bring on Ricky Jordan, who is nothing out of 3. Jordan has struck out, fly to right, and grounded out.
The first baseman, number 17, Ricky Jordan.
Houston with a win today could get a little space between them and Cincinnati. The Reds are losing in the 9th inning to the Mets 6-4. And St. Louis losing big at home to San Francisco 10-3.
Phillies' first 4 batters reached base in this game. Walking 3 singles.
After that, not many reached. 1 ball and 1 strike. Foul out of play, 1 and 2. John Truck is in the on-deck circle. He would bat for Heathcliff Slocum if Jordan reaches base. One and 2 to Ricky Jordan. A little bit low, 2 and 2. Derek Kyle looking on. Another foul ball out of play. Still 2 and 2 to Jordan. Low, it's a full count. Three and 2 with 2 outs here in the ninth. Struck him out to end the ball game. Well, the Phils are swept in this 3-game series here at the Astrodome. No runs, hits, or errors, and none left in the ninth. Darryl Kyle will get the win, and Hudak will record his 8th save. Couldn't get out of the bullpen. Another big game for Ken Caminiti, who went 2 for 4, made some superb defensive plays. 4-2 final Astros. Back with the totals in a wrap in just a moment.